on the first cover it says even the book morphs. I mean, on the first page. And
this is one of the few books we have in person. I mean, that we have as a book instead of
Shut
as
up,
a
be
bunch
natural,
of
I'm
pages.
making a joke. Anyway, but the book didn't turn into anything. It just stayed a book the whole time while I was reading it.
Oh.
So I was very disappointed.
Didn't we make that joke in like the first episode?
It's been years. I don't know.
Actually, you know what? It has been over a year.
We didn't have the physical first book.
Oh yeah, speaking of a year, when the Yuk hideaway bunkers again.
Oh yeah, that's why there's all the stomping.
So if you hear stomping, that's us hiding from the Yuks.
Yeah.
Man, we haven't recorded here in over a year.
Thanks for reminding me of that.
So now we don't have to worry about the noise anymore. We were so worried, but now that we have an explanation, it's okay.
Yeah.
Man, the stomping really loud up there.
Should we hide? Should we morph?
No.
Should we morph?
We can't morph.
They're not gonna find us. Don't worry. They're just gonna be loud.
We read.
Anyway, but yeah, I have this book. I bought it at Goodwill, and I got to have the fun experience of actually writing notes in the margin when there is a margin. Yeah, and I got to watch Jake turn into a dog, the most boring morph ever.
I thought it looked kind of cool.
It's the silliest cover they could have picked for this very, very not silly book.
It's a very not silly book.
This might be the least silly book. Well, I don't know if maybe like.
No, come on! You saying this book isn't as silly as freaking book 19?
Okay, sure, but this is like one of the. This book is definitely
this book
not
tries to be serious. This book is like, oh my gosh, we're so serious.
I think this book was like not very serious until like the second half.
The tone of this book is very much not silly.
Yeah.
Hell, we should introduce like the podcast.
Hello, this is the Animorphs.
No.
I don't remember how we do this.
This is an Animorphs.
Oh, this is an Animorphs Book Club podcast. It's really loud. Look at that. We made a red line.
The podcast where we discuss Animorphs books. We haven't recorded in like a month, so
we read the Animorphs books. We talk about the Animorphs books.
We read one book every day.
Today, no, we don't. Today we read Animorphs book number 21, The Threat.
This is exciting. Oh, we should also.
I would say that this title is pretty threatening. I mean,
it's pretty threatening.
Pretty.
I saw this title. I was like, "Oh, that's scary." I should hide from this book.
Oh yes, they're threatening me.
I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, like last episode, but first time I read the thread, I thought it said the treat. So there's a dog on the cover, and you're like, yeah, treat, dogs eat treats. I trying to skip the age.
That'd be great. Maybe I wonder if they did that intentionally. I wonder if they were gonna make the morph on this cover a dragonfly, but then Capplegate was like, wait. But the thread is almost the word treat, right? And dogs like treats, right? So let's have Jake turn into a dog in this book for no reason, so that we can put the dog on the cover.
Man, this scene where he turns into a dog is so not...
I don't even... Okay, I was the first person to finish reading this book. I don't even remember him turning into a dog.
He turned into a dog to find David.
To sniff out David.
But he did...
I didn't even include that in my
It's not even his first choice of his morph. He's like, I'm gonna turn into a wolf. And then Cassie's like, oh, my parents exist. And then he's like, oh, okay, I'll turn into a dog instead. And that's the only reason is because he wants to smell something.
No, they should put this one on the cover of the first book.
That would be a good one.
Jake's first morph is Homer.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be good.
We should
Nobody cares about Jake's lizard morph?
No one cared about that scene.
Nobody.
It was a memorable scene.
Yeah, but
he eats a spider.
That scene was like the true introduction to morphing, like the perils that come with it.
Would have been memorable.
We should introduce ourselves and do
the
summary.
Even if it wasn't the cover, it would have been memorable.
Every time I see the cover, it's then when Donkey says, this girl turns into a leaf. And they show that cover. Wait, which cover? The first book.
It's a one donkey video that Be Natural actually likes.
Hey, Be Natural, what's your name?
Be Natural.
Wait, who's next?
Oh, I'm better.
I'm Mustard.
I'm Stir.
So we read 21, The Threat by K.A. Applegate.
I already said that.
And
by K.A. Applegate.
Stir is here to summarize it quick for like however long, and then quick, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, so this takes off right where the last book left off. There's a kid named David. He found a morph cube, and he needed to join the Animorphs. And also in a nearby city, a bunch of the most powerful world leaders are planning to have a top secret meeting, and one of them's a controller. So the Yeerks want to make the rest of the world leaders, including the president of the United States, into controllers too. So right now the Animorphs try to get into the meeting building, but they turned into cockroaches and fell out of a helicopter and they're gonna die. Okay, book starts. What?
That was the last episode. We don't need all that if that was the last episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's good. It was good.
Chapter 1. Rachel swoops down and catches the Animorphs, plus some exposition.
Is this all haiku still?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay.
Chapter 2. They land on the beach, then figure out their plan and acquire a seagull. Chapter 3. The Animorphs fly toward a building with a bunch of guards in suits. Chapter 4. One of the guards shoots painful beams at birds he sees. Everyone goes home. David has to stay in Cassie's barn because he doesn't have a home and because he's on the Earth's most wanted list.
I like how I can interrupt you now and it's fine because we're not over Discord.
That one sounds like I had a few too many syllables.
You went off the alphabet for haiku. It's fine.
No, that was just in between two chapters. I needed extra exposition, so I just said
can't fit everything haiku. Anyway,
no. Chapter 5. One of Jake's cousins is injured, so his parents will stay at Jake's house. That's in a few days. The next day, Cassie says that David went missing. Chapter 7. Jake morphs into his dog to help search for David. Cassie has a plan. She doesn't say what it is yet, though. Chapter 8. The group finds out that David flew to a hotel so he could relax. Chapter 9. They bring David back and Cassie reveals her plan. It's kind of silly. The plan is to have one person morph a dragonfly, since it's small and can fly and has big eyes for seeing things, and now the rest of the group morph fleas and hold on to the dragonfly as it sneaks into the building. Chapter 10. Jake morphs into a dragonfly so the others can morph into fleas. Chapter 11. They get together and fly to the meeting place under a guy's hat. Chapter 12. It's almost time for Jake to demorph. He gets caught in a spider web. Chapter 13. They escape the web, but Marco's having some trouble demorphing. Chapter 14. Cassie helps Marco demorph, which seemed like it'll be impossible. Shh. Oh, I can't believe she's dying over there. How inconsiderate. Chapter 15. They find themselves near a Yerk pool, hidden behind a large hologram. Chapter 16. After hearing what the Yerks have planned, the group flies away and goes home. Chapter 17. The guy in charge of planning the big meeting was Visser 3 and Morph. Chapter 18. The Animorphs plan to save the world leaders and tell them about the Yerks. Chapter 19. At night, the group flies to the meeting building and goes to the Yerk pool that they found. Chapter 20. They beat the pool guards and wait for world leaders to come close to the pool. Chapter 21. It's a trap. The whole room full of people talking is a hologram. It's actually Visser 3 and a group of controller soldiers.
Why are you
It's not the end of the book.
Wide eyes?
Huh? I'm thinking.
Did you forget to write the last few summaries?
No, I'm thinking. Chapter 23. Yerks and Animorphs fight for 2 seconds, then form a truce for the night, because they were too loud and Secret Service people heard the noise and would have seen them unless they stopped fighting immediately to get out of there.
Nice haiku.
Chapter 24. David wants to leave the Animorphs and make a deal with Visser 3. Chapter 25. The Animorphs watch David run away again and fly to his house. Chapter 26. Jake goes to David's house and David attacks Jake. Tobias is dead. Chapter 27. Some Hork-Bajir come in and David flies away. Axe comes to save Jake. Chapter 28. David morphs into a lion and challenges Jake to a death match. David is way better at killing than Jake is. To be continued.
So
you should cut out when I'm saying the chapter numbers. I usually do that manually.
Oh, that's gonna be hard to do.
Yeah, thanks for creating a lot of work.
But no, hey, I'm glad you said the chapter numbers because I forgot a lot of this book because I read it 2 weeks ago now. So that was, and I think we include those at the.
There's no way you
chance
read this
that
2 weeks ago. It was 1 week ago at most.
At the chance that that someone is listening without reading the books. Which there's probably a few people because they're long books. And,
one that I noticed is that
it was helpful though. Some of it was helpful for me.
There's a trend with these books where the first 2/3 of it are pretty boring. I think this book follows that.
Yeah.
I agree. I was there was no way this book's gonna be a thumbs up, and then it
really?
got this.
Okay, I was this book's totally average to good. It's book 10. It's
Yeah, it's pretty average.
The stuff that's happening is interesting enough to keep me reading, but it's not phenomenal.
If it didn't have the the insane David turns evil and then kills Tobias, like
He was
it
evil
wouldn't have
the
been a
whole
thumbs up.
time, but
No,
freaking
the
Tobias.
first book. Oh, I mean the previous book. I mean, he wasn't evil. He had a snake and a Metallica shirt,
That's
and now
evil.
suddenly he's killing
That's evil,
people.
Mustard.
That's a huge step.
He has a snake.
No,
He might as well
no,
be Darth
he killed
Vader.
that freaking crow. Remember?
That was when he was a bird.
What
okay, but birds don't just do that.
Yes, they do. Tobias talks about how golden
Birds
eagles are
absolutely
evil
do.
all the
What,
time.
what I assumed was gonna happen is that they thought he's like, oh, this guy, he's sketchy, he has a Metallica shirt, but then they find out, oh, people who like Metallica aren't evil.
No.
Stupid.
Listen, this is the 90s. We're not that progressive yet. We're not accepting
man.
of people with Metallica t-shirts. Doesn't Margaret wear Metallica t-shirts?
Yeah.
Well,
He
Margaret...
dresses like Beavis.
He dresses like Beavis.
That
Doesn't
evens it out.
I thought Beavis had the ACD. No, that's he has white.
It doesn't matter.
Now I gotta look this up.
No, you don't.
I do. I think Beavis has.
So what are you gonna say?
Nothing else.
Man, I'm so glad we're recording in person and I can like look at you guys.
I was
Yeah,
on the
beautiful.
fence about this one, but yeah,
I was
I was on the fence at the end too.
I was so far off the fence. I mean, in terms of my rating, vote thumbs up. I was like so far off the fence by the time the book
Wait,
ended.
we all thumbs up this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was on the fence.
I didn't think you guys would like it, which I guess I liked it more than you guys. Based
Well,
on
okay,
being
it was
on the
a
fence,
way big improvement over the last one.
Yeah, the last one was just average.
So
This one was average to good.
I was telling Mustard... No, the last one... This one was good. This one was squarely good. It was like... But it wasn't like
no, the
great.
first half like kind of sucked.
No, it didn't.
Okay, it did for me. I didn't enjoy the
It
first
was
half.
like... I
thought
was
a lot
kind
of
of
stuff
like...
was boring.
I was kind of... The other day I was like telling Mustard, like, I think back on this arc, and I think, oh man, so many things happened in this arc. And now I'm realizing, no, so many things happened in this book and the next book probably, because nothing happened in book 20.
It's just set up.
Like, very, very little happened in book 20. Compared to this book, actually had, like, a plot. Book 20 was just, like, maybe David.
This plot went so far from where I thought it would go.
I mean, okay, despite how evil David might actually be, I think, as usual, they were being very harsh on him for
Yes.
considering joining the Urg.
Are we gonna talk about the book in order? Or just talk about? I have like almost nothing to say about like freaking like.
Yeah, I can talk. I want to talk about it in
stuff.
order.
No, let's talk about it.
My
Okay.
first note's on chapter 2.
So I guess we'll get to like David later. So
In chapter 1, all I have written for the summary is that they don't die, because obviously they don't.
I thought it was
Capelgate-
stupid how they caught them in midair.
Did we even talk about how, like, this is the exact same cliffhanger they had in Megamorphs 1?
yeah, we did. We talked about how the previous book.
Okay,
cliffhanger.
okay.
It was like an awful cliffhanger. Obviously, they survived. Like
Because they survived this exact scenario in Megamorphs 1.
It's
Yeah.
funny because, like, at the beginning, they're like, "Oh, well, like we're cockroaches. Like our mass isn't sufficient. X says, I don't believe our mass is sufficient to cause death when we impact." Marco does say that they would drown, but I was like, "Oh, well, so you immediately get rid of all the tension, okay?"
yeah. Well, and that tension was gone because I was like, well, this happened before. They were insects. They're gonna be fine. I don't know what the context was, but I think a bird swoops by and says, "Oh, cockroach is falling through the air. Gotta be you guys, right?" And that made me smile. Maybe just because I was glad to be reading Animorphs again.
I like the chemistry between most of the characters in this book overall. So Marco does that in chapter 1. Marco does that thing that he seems to do every book now, and it's kind of starting to bother me, where he just like recaps the scene, and he's just like, "Man, isn't that insane?"
Marco?
Yeah.
Yeah, Margaret.
Well, I'm in a cockroach bite. He just fell out of the bottom of a spaceship belonging to brain-stealing alien slugs while trying to save the president of the United States. Was rescued. And then he goes, "Isn't that weird? I'm Capelgate. I wrote a really weird scenario, didn't I, guys?" And it's just annoying to me.
No, it's
at
just
this
Marco's
point.
bad sense of humor.
There's so many. It is very bad. It's so annoying to me at this point.
Don't blame Capelgate. It's Marco.
All right.
My text to speech thing that I use pronounced elf
Text to speech.
elf anger.
Isn't that how you pronounce it?
No, I pronounced it elfingor.
Elfangor.
Elfangor.
I pronounced it elfingor, not elf anger.
Elfinger.
Angry elves. Also, this is chapter 1. According to Jake Axel, there are thousands, maybe tens of thousands human controllers. Which I don't know if they've given like an exact number on that before us, but that was cool, I guess, to know.
It's like, what is
I
it?
feel like there are
City?
more than thousands.
Thousands, maybe tens of thousands.
Because like thousands is like if they live in a fairly big city, thousands is like
Not that.
Well, yeah, but this is the city where like visit 3 is constantly.
yeah. Like, I feel like there are probably more than... I feel like there are probably at least tens of thousands.
I think most of them are in this city.
Given the information.
You think so?
They happen to be in this one location.
I think they said in one of the books, like, this is like the main center of
We're like the center
York
of the York
invasion.
invasion.
It's kind of lame. I kind of wish they made it seem like more of a worldwide thing.
Well, no, it makes sense because this is where, like, Elfingo crashed. So,
Yeah.
like, it makes sense that...
I don't know, it just means that it makes them feel a lot less threatening.
Also, this is where, for some reason, 5 world leaders are having a secret meeting, like, 10 feet from town, for some reason.
Yeah, I remember, like we'll get to that
We can't tell
later,
you where
but-
we are with this
Well, Doc,
giant
one of the
freaking
leaders-
world leaders
Well, no, it's
summit
private.
happened,
No,
like...
no one knows about it. It's secret.
Is it secret?
Yeah,
secret.
Jake looked
No, remember, like, only, what's his name knew about it? That,
Eric. Jake
Eric.
looked it up online, though, didn't he?
My internet knows about secrets.
Oh my gosh.
You went to the deep web.
He went into what's
Book
that
21.
tour?
Book 21, Jake goes to the deep web.
Jake does a ballroom dance, is what I wrote.
Oh yeah, this
Does he
book has a Jake on it, so we have to entitle it Jake does a ballroom dance and goes into the deep web.
Does he do a ballroom dance?
No, but they go to a ballroom.
Guys.
He doesn't do the hokey pokey in episode 6.
No, but it
We've
looks like
talked
he
about
does. It looks like he
And
does.
we made like episode 11, like, what was that? Jake, he actually did do that
Jake does
dance
the
there,
square
but-
dance. And finally
My next note's on chapter 7, so I don't know. You guys
I have a
just go
note on chapter 2 when David says, Tobias is like a racist or something, only with birds instead of people.
Oh, I thought that was a great line.
All those birds are different species, Cassie pointed out. Humans are all one species, not really a very good comparison.
And David feels bad.
Yeah, and David's like, okay.
Why does David feel bad about that?
He looked a little sullen because he just really wanted to call Tobias
Oh,
a
wait,
racist.
was Cassie calling him racist by
No.
saying that, like, not...
She wasn't calling him a racist. She was just pointing out that he said something dumb. Like, he said a joke. You know when you hate it when you make a joke and then somebody takes it completely seriously?
Yeah.
Look at you, be natural.
Oh, what? I do that?
When he was looking in the book and talking about, oh, in this book it says... And then I forget what the context was.
I didn't know that was a joke. Okay?
Play it again.
No. On the first cover it says even the book morphs. I mean, on the first page. And
this is one of the few books we have in person. I mean, that we have as a book instead of
Shut
as
up,
a
be
bunch
natural.
of
I'm
pages.
making a joke. That doesn't count because she didn't realize I was about to tell a joke.
My first note's just that in the first 2 chapters they reference 2 like bands that Margot would like.
What were they?
Grateful Dead.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because that's just a T-shirt that David wears that Tobias steals from the store. And Cypress Hill, because Margot says "insane in the membrane," and I assume that if someone says "insane in the membrane" in a book in the 90s, they're referencing the song.
Yeah, is membrane... What is a membrane?
It's a...
And they're just saying that because it sounds like brain.
That's like
Insane in
not
the
that's
brain.
like not part of your brain, right?
No, it's a thing.
No,
It's like a
membrane
thing that
is
like
separates
where
one thing
you're-
from another.
Yeah, so that definitely doesn't make sense outside of like it being the song line.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Tobias says birds are not capable of stealing, which I thought was a weird
Wait,
line.
no,
Well, that keeps coming back
Wasn't that David?
like continually in the book.
No. He
What?
says, no, I borrowed them. Besides, I'm a bird. Birds are not capable of stealing.
Oh,
Yeah, they keep like pinning the responsibility on being animals.
I think that you know
Well,
what?
that's
I
a good
think
point. That's
It's
a
only
good
a problem when David does it, though.
Yeah.
that's what inspired David to do
Yeah.
the whole like, oh,
Yeah.
I can do this.
I think
as
the
well.
Animorphs screwed up in this book by how they spoke to David.
They did. I think
they could have done a
when
lot better.
when I read this book as a kid, I was like, oh, David's evil. But in this book, I'm like, I know. I think the argument that this book is making, whether intentionally or not, is that the Animorphs like screwed up this time. Like they really should, and you really got to put more effort into. The moral of the story is you really got to put more effort into like being nice to people or something. I don't know. I'm not wording this.
They're just
very
like,
well.
hey guys, do what I say, and not like, oh hey, by the way, David, like if you follow us, maybe we can get your parents back.
They're
you
not.
know,
They're not like. They're not
that'd
very.
be
They're just
cool.
very like tactical about like. Oh, we gotta do this thing. Okay, David, shut up. We're very. This is very important right now. Okay, like the moral of the story is like, yeah, it's very important to do interpersonal relationships and all that junk.
Well, yeah, I think David himself explains it pretty well, like in the second to last chapter.
Yeah, we'll
like,
get
why
to
he's
that
set
stuff
up.
later. But like I remember, like David was saying like stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, David's saying exactly what I was thinking in response to what Jake said.
You know, David seems pretty cool in some parts of this book.
Except when he's a murderer.
But in some parts of this book, like in chapter 3, like after he gets like fried by the guy with the invisible Dracon beam, he just says, "Okay, that was a major ouchie. Now can I get it out of here?" And it just seems like what a good sport. Like that was a major ouchie. Like
Sounds like something I would say.
yeah. And then and then Jake says, "Yeah, fly." And by the way, David, good job. And then he says, "Thanks." sounding sincere. Then in a sarcastic tone, he added, "Thanks a lot. Wow, sarcasm. He's evil." Jake didn't say that. I added that.
Yeah.
But like, there are all these things that are supposed to be like, David's not a good person because he was sarcastic this time.
I just thought it was weird because right after Tobias's birds are not capable of stealing, he says, "What are they going to do? Arrest me?" It seems like those two sentences aren't that related. If a bird has a human brain, that's morally wrong for it to steal, right?
Yeah, well,
that's why David murdered
whether
people.
Somebody can arrest a bird or not.
And David saying that would inspire David. I mean, Tobias saying that would inspire David.
Tobias would have this weird.
I guess it's fitting that he dies first because this is his fault. If only he hadn't stolen those swim trunks, then David would have never gotten the idea to steal things as an animal. So I'm on chapter 5 now. I don't really have much.
I'm on chapter 3.
I said I'm still on 7, so
I don't really have much to say before chapter 5.
They say haul wing.
What they say? What?
We need a haul wing out of there or something.
Oh, they can't say butt.
They've definitely said haul butt before.
Yeah, but they were birds, so they said haul wing.
Birds don't have butts; they have cloacas.
Cassie.
Is that right? Is my bird?
Depends on how you define
it's
butt.
halfway, right? I guess.
Because I kind of would lean towards the definition of butt as like gluteus maximus, like a big round thing.
And another.
What if mega butt was just a common phrase people said?
Did they say this in this book again?
No, they don't.
Okay.
Jake does
have a big butt.
Oh yeah, does it say that? When does it does say that?
Yes, my butt. Yes,
we'll get to that. We'll go to that. But another miscellaneous. I almost said anonymous. Another miscellaneous note. Cassie looked worried. Rachel, as always, looked great. I don't know what the context was, but that was silly, I guess.
Jake's always hitting on his cousin.
Oh yeah, that would be Jake saying that. You're right. That's why I wrote it down because it was weird. Okay, continue.
I kind of liked Jake and Cassie's chemistry in this book.
What? No.
Because it wasn't over the top.
I don't remember it. Please explain.
All right, I just found this.
You probably don't remember because it wasn't over the top. Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, I didn't think about it, but
Jake just brings up how like Cassie's way better at him than like emotions and stuff, and like. They have a couple of moments together, like when Jake turns into a dog.
Yeah.
Usually when Jake needs to talk to somebody, like it's with Cassie for some reason, and I don't know. But they're not like, oh, I like Cassie, you know, like. I'm glad that they never brought that back. I'm glad that they're being more subtle about it.
There's a part where Jake wishes Cassie was trans, where he says, "I like Cassie. If only she had a stick."
I literally had underlined that with the same exact note.
I didn't consider that.
I didn't either.
I don't know what chapter that was, but it's in my notes.
I think it turns into your dog, and then 7 or 7.
What did you say in response to better? You said like yeah or whatever.
I just noted better do Homer. Homer is my dog. Like that's out of context.
All my notes are just things out of context. I had like nothing until like the David stuff at the end. Like I didn't care about it.
I actually don't. I said I didn't have any notes till chapter 5, but I actually don't. I don't have any notes till chapter 8.
I noted they're trying to break into this complex or whatever, and they described this is Marco talking, voice, mind, thought speaking. Guys on the roof, guys in bushes, guys sitting in cars, guys out on the golf course pretending to play golf. It looks like Men in Black 2 around here. These guys all have the same suit.
Oh yeah,
Men in Black 2.
I was confused why he said Men in Black 2. And
it was new at the time. I assume.
No. This is before Men in Black 2.
Men in Black 2 came out. I looked this up too. Men in Black 2 came out in 2002.
So he's just saying like this is if there was a Men in Black 2.
Oh.
Yeah,
it probably
that's
looked
a
like
good
this.
insight there.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was like, why would you say Men in Black 2?
So it's
That's
like
interesting.
so it's like if I said, oh, this is like what's the movie that's
doesn't have a sequel?
Yeah.
Boss Baby?
Super Mario Brothers. Titanic.
This is like
I don't know. I haven't even seen any of those.
Hold on, I'm trying to think what's a movie. This is like Princess Bride 2.
There we go.
That's a movie I like.
That's much better.
You guys forgot about after Marco's if a seagull eats a chicken, is that like cannibalism or something? I thought Tobias's reply was pretty funny. He says that depends, extra crispy or regular. Which one do you guys think is more cannibalistic, regular or extra crispy?
Regular. right?
Okay, so like if I was eating a person,
extra crispy, then it's more like bread.
Yeah, like
right?
if I was eating like chicken, if I was eating like chicken nuggets, like made of human, it seems less cannibalistic than like eating like a
leg,
raw meat.
Yeah, like a leg.
Well,
like
it's like if it is just like on this like a slab, like pork chop, but of like human, like calf.
Yeah.
But like, would it just not be cannibalism if it was a chicken nugget?
No, it would, but it wouldn't be less. Oh, I see what you're saying. But it's not
a joke. I think it's funny.
It's not anyway because it's the chickens and seagulls aren't the same thing.
So cannibalism is only the same species.
Yes.
Not like I guess if a human ate a chimp, that wouldn't be cannibalism.
Yeah, obviously.
How come people don't eat shrimps?
Because they're too high on the food chain.
Is that what it's based on?
Okay, they can't be easily farmed. People, there would be
we
all sorts
we
of...
can lower them on the food chain a notch just by eating them. You know?
Wait, why can't anything be easily farmed?
No, only certain animals can be easily farmed. They need to be able to reproduce quickly and like be able to be fed like the same thing basically. Fed something cheap, and they need to grow quickly so that they can. Like I read a whole book about this.
Okay, I don't care.
Yeah,
I watched a YouTube video about it. That's why zebras haven't been domesticated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's like a whole like every animal that's been domesticated is like very specifically.
Oh yeah. It was on a post about how like we were like, why haven't we domesticated bears? Because wolves are cool, so bears could also be cool.
No, I read about this in a book.
Well,
wolves seem like they'd be hard to domesticate.
Dogs.
I know they've done it, but it sounds really difficult.
Have you met a wolf?
No.
I've read about them. They peel over. Yeah.
Speaking as a werewolf, I can say we're pretty hard to domesticate.
New law. Yeah.
He had a bald patch on his head, something you notice when you're a bird.
That is something you notice when you're a bird.
I never knew bald people existed.
Someone like
Anyway, that was a funny line.
Later in the book it mentioned a bald guy, and I was like, bald guy? Who? What? I don't even remember a bald guy.
Oh wait, that was important to the plot. That bald guy.
No, he was just the guy shooting the birds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's a different person. I think you're thinking of Stir.
Oh, so he was shooting like a very low-powered Dracon beam at every bird in order to keep them away in case they could be Animorphs.
Yeah, he was that guy shooing away the animals with a broom.
I thought that was kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good because like it's like they're like, oh, Andalites and morph, but then whenever there's a bunch of animals around, they're like, whatever. Just
yeah, so they're like, oh yeah, if there were birds dropping dead all over, it'd be really obvious. So that was like a good solution.
That is a good solution.
Yeah, but if birds are carrying heavy weights and drop them on you,
what are you referencing?
That's later in the book.
Yeah, wait, how did they get that? How did they do that?
It was at night, so no one don't care. Apparently, they have no security at night that can see birds.
No, but isn't it like super brightly lit? The resort is at night.
I think it was cloudy.
Jake,
cloudy. Jake said it was very cloudy.
There was no moon. It was very cloudy, so if they had a ton of lights, the lights would have bounced off the clouds and made it even brighter.
No, it was cloudy on the ground.
It was foggy.
Yeah.
That would have made it even brighter.
It was a dark and stormy, foggy night.
All the lights went out that night. Alright, whatever, I don't care anymore.
Okay, better do the lights. Where's my dog?
I like chapter 8.
Well, I haven't known chapter 7. It's very important.
Okay, what?
But hey, what's that smell? Was that? Yes, it was dog poop. Not my poop, but definitely dog poop. Where? I sniffed. Okay, over there. I trotted toward the source of the smell. Not fresh. This was old dog poop. At least a couple days old. That didn't mean it was totally useless, but fresh dog poop was really far more interesting. Stale dog poop was only slightly more interesting than cat poop, and let's face it, no one cares about cat poop.
Is this true? You have dogs. I mean, goats. This is true.
That sounds way longer than I remembered.
Yeah. It's like a whole paragraph of Jake talking about dog poop. He's a dog, morphed as a dog.
Amazing.
I didn't know dogs cared about poop.
Also, Marco's dad is dating women. That was introduced in this book, I think.
He's not
that
gay?
was introduced in this. No, he's like getting out again now that his wife is dead.
Okay.
His wife is he wifed.
He wifed.
He had a woman.
Wifed. There was also a reminder that Rachel's parents are divorced, which I forgot about. It's
That's
like casually
good.
mentioned.
I would have forgotten that Rachel and Jake are cousins, except they actually bring it up. Jake is like, why can't Sadler's parents stay with Rachel's family? And they're like, oh, they don't like them.
I'm constantly reminded of the cousins because I was like, Rachel's pretty hot. If only she wasn't my cousin.
That's what makes me forget about it.
This is like the first Jake book where he didn't say that, I think.
No, he said Rachel has always looked great.
Oh, man.
But it didn't say if only she wasn't my
I don't think it did, no.
If only she wasn't my cousin.
Guys, this is just confirmation that the whole series takes place in Alabama.
No,
yeah, we can't tell you where we are, but
South
I rather ask
Carolina,
my
we
cousin.
thought?
Okay, we figured it out.
One thing I just thought about while reading this is like there's a lot of parts where like they can't find each other in this book. A lot of time travel. Why doesn't Axe like set them up with like cell phones? You know, like he has all this fancy
Andalites
technology.
haven't invented that yet.
Oh, they haven't.
They invented books after computers. They don't have cell phones yet.
Right now they're working on scrolls.
Or like watches that can talk in, or like even like walkie-talkies. Like they don't have any of that.
Well, because they can't carry it as a bird.
They still only.
Yeah, but thought speak is pretty good though.
I guess.
You can have like a flea-sized like transmission device probably.
But they
Like,
only talk to
touch
each other through the actual telephone.
I don't think X.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
Well, okay, then I don't know. I don't think X could create very like nanobot technology with his bare hands. To be fair.
He could like hack into like an existing thing.
We don't have nanobot technology.
No, but like he could like hack into like a little Matchbox car and be like, okay, this is a walkie-talkie now.
Hack into a Matchbox car.
There's a little engine in there.
Something like that, you know.
Oh my god.
You know how they make Matchbox cars? They make a regular car and then they just scale it down.
Yeah.
They put a shrink ray.
I couldn't think of anything that was actually technology that was small that existed then. But something small that exists.
A watch.
Yeah, like no, that's.
I mean,
that's
they could have like stolen something from the FBI. Like they were like in a president resort.
I feel this is all beside the point.
It is.
Also,
Yeah, I don't know what my like.
I don't think this man.
My notes are so disorganized.
Let's skip ahead to more exciting parts of the book.
Oh, I had
Should
something
we?
to say about chapter 4 actually.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of sleeping on Jake being like understanding and stuff because Jake says I felt like the creep of the universe making David take the hit. He like feels really bad that he's making everybody get hit before they can fly away.
Yeah.
But then I realized like Jake is the only person who gets hit twice, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it's like he's like taking on more pain for the rest of them.
I think Jake is understanding of David, but I think he should have said and emphasized different things to him later in the book.
Yeah.
I think that was his mistake.
You guys, people are 13 years old.
Well, yeah, but that's...
chill the frick out.
No, this is like a realistic scenario in terms of how Jake is acting to David.
This is good, okay? It's good because Jake is not perfect in every single way.
It is good. Yeah, it's true. But the thing is, it makes the book more interesting when he messes up.
Yeah, no,
bad stuff happens because of it.
That's why this book is good. Did anybody else think Jake's parents had been turned into controllers when he got home to find them both sitting in the living room staring into space?
Oh, yeah, because that's what Chapman did.
But as soon as they saw me, they both got up and hugged me. That seemed a little sus to me.
Well, isn't that because he was gone for like 5 days?
No.
Oh.
It was just
because their
his
cousin
freaking cousin that
Oh yeah, that's
why.
right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
got hit by a car.
That seems normal. I've never been hit by a car or my cousin, so I don't know.
I've never been hit by a car or my cousin. My cousin's never hit me. I'm sorry, that was bad.
Also, Jake goes on like this weird tangent about how his cousin Forrest is 2 years old and is basically the devil.
I don't remember any of this.
I remember that.
It's not a tangent, but it is a strange line.
What is it?
Because his cousins are gonna come stay over at his house, and he's like, "Oh no!"
The cousins never showed up in this book. That was kind of weird.
Well, it's part 2 of a trilogy.
I guess so.
The third book is the epic conclusion to.
Wait, so what's the cousin subplot that may come back later? There's like
Okay, so his parents are leaving for a couple of days.
Jake's parents.
And then they're gonna come back and they're gonna bring like 4 people with them. They're gonna stay at Jake's house.
Oh my gosh! And then Jake sets up this thing about the 2 Chihuahuas that the the Prime Minister of France's wife has, and I'm like, so they're gonna morph into Chihuahuas. That's why he turns into a
dog.
Turns into a dog on the front. Then that didn't turn into anything.
You're right. That didn't.
There's a lot of loose ends in this book.
I guess I just forget about stuff when it's not important.
Yeah, I don't care about so much Chihuahuas.
It makes sense.
I didn't care either. I was like, wow, Chihuahuas. That sounds like a stupid plot.
It makes sense. Like these.
Glad it wasn't like that.
Wait, was the hang on? So did we get to the chapter where they talk about like the people, the cousins coming over?
Gonna switch out someone's Chihuahuas when they're under that much surveillance?
I thought it was cool when like how like Jake and Dave, Jake and Tom. Jake and Tom were both like, oh man, people have to come over because Tom wanted to like party and be a controller, and Jake wanted to like be an Animorph, and they both had reasons to not want cousins to come over, but they didn't know each other's reasons.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Jake knows Tom's reasons, but that was just a nice brother moment between a human brother and controller brother.
Bonding moment of mutual hate, mutual suspicion.
Well, I don't think Tom's suspicious of Jake at all.
Yeah, I guess not.
Which I like that. I don't know. I like that.
I thought the conversation that Cassie and Jake had when they were on the phone was hilariously weird.
Yeah, it is.
About Letterman or something being cancelled.
Oh, yeah.
We should like have two people read this back and forth with just their dialogue, just to see what it sounds like.
I like to imagine.
I thought it was cool.
I want to imagine what tone of voice they have.
Yeah.
They have while reading this, because like I don't think there's a tone of voice they can have that would make this not weird.
I was like confused by what was happening at first, and I was like, "Oh, it's code words. It's really cool."
Yeah, they're finally not being dummies.
Wait, they
always talk with code words.
I assume they never explained it like this though. I feel like I thought it was cool to see it.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I never needed to explain to me because I'm not a dummy like Mustard is.
I heard Letterman got cancelled. Is that true? No more Dave?
Did you check TV Guide?
No, I looked everywhere else though. Everywhere.
Well, don't worry about it. He'll be there at the usual place, the usual time.
We both knew
Sounds
David
like
was
a threat.
missing, and I was on my way as soon as I could get away safely. Hang on, David goes missing like 3 times in this. I forgot David was missing in the beginning. I was just like, oh yeah, he went missing at the end to go to his house or whatever. Why was he missing at the beginning?
Wait, what?
He went to go watch TV or something.
Oh, this is when he got man.
This is that time.
This is when that time. Okay,
It is.
I have this book all mixed up in my head, but that's okay.
Well, he does go. Well, he also like leaves Marco's house in the first book. He tries to leave to like go call his parents.
I don't remember that.
Oh, you don't remember that? There's like the big fight scene and
That was
things.
a cool scene.
Well, but I don't remember that. I mean, like, it's not in my head as being part of this book.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Well, that's good. That makes it less confusing for you.
Yeah.
Rachel keeps a couple of outfits at the barn. Why?
That does sound like Rachel.
Is it a crime to want to look good?
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to be naked standing in poop
She's wearing
where
a
is in the
leotard.
barn.
Not naked.
I wouldn't want to wear only a leotard in a barn, I guess.
Yeah, barns, you want to wear barn clothes.
She wasn't though. She was wearing nice clothes. She's like being a fashionista.
You can wear nice clothes in a barn.
This is a new look. It's called poop on clothes.
What are you talking about?
That seems like something they'll make a joke about.
Yeah, it does.
So there. That's
I
what
like
it is.
the chemistry. Oh wait, this is in chapter 11. I don't really have anything to say until then.
Chapter 10, I just think it's cool when Jake morphs the dragonfly and he talks about how
Wait,
he
won the
sees...
dragonfly already?
Jake morphs the dragonfly and he talks about how he sees these weird, like, colors that don't make sense and everything blends together. And then Marco or someone's like, oh, just because your brain hasn't morphed to be able to comprehend what you're seeing yet. And then it morphs into the dragonfly brain and then he can see properly. Like, that seems new to me.
That is cool.
cool.
The dragonfly visual cortex.
Yeah.
I like the description of being able to see like all around him. Like he was like I could see it was like not like watching like a wall of TVs. It was like I could see a dome of TVs, but I could see all of them at once.
Wasn't that in like when they morph into flies?
No,
No.
because his eyes don't wrap all the way around his head when they're flying.
Dragonfly eyes and fly eyes are different?
Dragonfly eyes are
Better.
wacko.
Huh.
They're better than fly eyes. That's the whole reason they did this.
Be natural. When you came up with your hypothetical situation about having only 5 different morphs, do you think you would change it to dragonfly instead of just fly? Or
Dragonflies are a lot more noticeable.
What 5 different
That's
morphs?
true.
What are you talking
I
about?
don't think they're as fast either.
They're not. I don't think they're as fast. Oh, I don't know. I've never tried to squash a dragonfly.
Flies can really
No,
move
you're
on a
right, there
dime. I
is
don't think
flies.
dragonflies can. Their wings are too big.
Yeah, but also dragonflies can like catch other bugs. I guess they catch mosquitoes though. They don't catch flies.
Hey, was there a past book where Jake morphed into a tiger and ran around on people's roofs?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
Hang on, because you guys know what quote I'm talking about, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was just looking right at it.
Yeah.
I seem to remember you morphing into a tiger and running around on people's roofs, Jake.
Oh yeah.
So that was one they're like, what? Why would David morph into a lion? That's crazy. He must be bad. And then like, what, Jake, you did that when we started.
Was the only being able to have 5 morphs thing based on the Animorphs video game on the Game Boy Color?
What 5 morphs things are you guys talking about?
No, it was not. It was based on just like an arbitrary number of morphs. Thank you very much.
I didn't even have 6 in that game.
It's because you have 5 fingers.
Because 6 Pokemon.
Dude, you could remember your morphs easily. You could have like finger puppets, and then
If only I could remember which 5 animals I have the capability of transforming into. Oh wait, I have finger puppets.
that's a dumb idea.
I'm glad you're still updating what morphs they have. It's very nice.
Wait, is that
Yeah,
what it does?
I am doing that. Good for me. Yeah, so I like chapter 8. I liked it. It was well written. Nice. Yay. I'm sorry. I don't have I don't know how to say it specifically. I just liked how it was written. Where like
I thought it would be more of a surprise what David's battle morph was going to be, because they like made a point of not telling us in the last book. But then they're like, "Oh yeah, we lied."
Well, I don't know what could it possibly be that would be a surprise.
What? No, I was expecting it to be like, "Oh, David, go to your battle morph," and then suddenly hair sprouts out of his neck, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, a lion!" Wow, and Jake's like, "Lions hate tigers."
That sounds lame.
Yeah, it does sound really lame.
Okay, so chapter 9 is when Jake goes to David's house or whatever.
Go to your battle morph. Oh no!
Wait, you guys wanted to skip the apartment part? I thought that was a great scene.
What apartment?
Chapter 9.
Oh, the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, I have a bunch of notes on chapter 9.
Apartment?
What, he walks into the apartment and David's in there like chilling in an apartment he didn't pay for.
Chapter 8.
Are you saying
8 or 9?
Are you talking about the Holiday Inn?
Yeah.
Yeah, what, it doesn't call it an apartment?
No, it's a hotel.
Well, same thing, whatever.
He breaks into the hotel so he can watch TV in an empty room. That wouldn't work in an apartment.
Why would apartment?
Because there'd be
rooms?
somebody living there.
If it's an empty apartment, what do you mean? What's the difference?
There would be a TV there.
Why not?
Because apartments are like houses.
Apartments aren't fully furnished when you move in.
Okay, well, breaking into a hotel seems even not as bad then.
Yeah, it's not.
So, screw Jake for being mad at him.
What? No, well, they didn't want to attract attention to him or something. I did feel the whole, like,
it's morally wrong to steal.
Yeah, okay. I did feel that whole thing was kind of dumb. Because, like, they're like, oh, no, we can't steal.
It's not morally wrong to steal when you have no house.
Yeah, it isn't. And and honestly, like, Holiday Inn's, like...
We can't steal unless it's...
Yeah, oh, dude, Jake said they were like, oh, we can only commit crimes if it's important to save humanity. Dude, you're animals. Everything you do is important to save humanity. Like,
yeah,
come
like,
on, guys.
If David needs some R&R to not go crazy and kill one of your members, then, like, okay. That's for the betterment of humanity, I think.
Yeah, and just Tobias stole clothes just so that David wasn't naked.
Yeah, but Jake mailed some
being
money
naked
back.
is very, very bad, okay? It's really, really important that David was not naked because Cassie and Rachel were there, okay?
Cassie and Rachel had to turn around.
Yeah. But if only Marco and Jake had been there, then that would have been one thing. But since Cassie and Rachel were there, they just had to steal clothes.
I always annoying how Jake keeps in narration going like, oh, maybe David was just trying to get a snack. Maybe David isn't that bad. And it just makes it like... To me, it made it really obvious that Capelgate was setting up for David to, like, not be innocent in each situation. And that, like, predictability annoyed me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean...
I didn't notice.
I noticed that, but I knew what was coming, so, like, I didn't have it.
Although usually the stuff was revealed, like immediately. Like, oh, like, that chapter he finds out David, like, did steal an apartment. Or, I don't know why. I don't know why about apartment, because I remember I listened to it and I assumed it was a hotel until, like, I thought they said apartment at some point.
They even said Holiday Inn, dude, so...
Okay, well, I don't know Holiday Inn was a hotel, I guess.
I don't think there are, like, brand names of apartments.
I've never been in an apartment, so I don't know how they work.
Okay.
He called watching TV watching some tube. I didn't know that was a phrase
Boob
people
tube.
use.
Yeah, television. Why do you think it's called YouTube?
What did you call it?
Boob tube.
Oh, what? Hang on, boob tube.
Yeah.
I thought you said, why did you call it YouTube? And then I thought, oh, he said YouTube, but then you said boob tube again.
Yeah.
What is that?
Okay. Boob tube. Slang for TV.
It is?
YouTube. Okay, tube, also slang for TV. YouTube, TV for you on your computer.
Mewtwo cloned from Mew.
I've never heard why is it called boob tube? I've never heard that.
Because it's like, oh my gosh, TV is too much sex and violence.
Oh no, I thought it was because you watch TV and you turn into a boob.
Yeah.
Like, as in like a...
Physically.
Well, because like TV used to have like the tube things, right?
Yeah, tubes.
Tuba.
I didn't know kids started watching some tube like in the 90s.
Yeah, they didn't...
That seems like a much more 90s-y thing than like today.
Yeah, I know more than today, but it still seems outdated.
They didn't have tube TVs, did they?
I don't think so.
No, they probably did.
My TV's from 1991, and I don't think it's a tube.
CRT is in tube, is it?
It doesn't look like a tube to me.
I don't
It looks
know.
like a
Vacuum
screen.
tube?
This is boring.
It definitely has a tube because it's a big fat one.
I'm thinking of vacuum
it's a
tubes.
big fat one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of vacuum tube computers.
I haven't seen any tubes in it.
Oh my gosh, have you looked inside your TV?
No, I haven't.
So how do you know?
Dude, if you open it in the back,
it?
you know that like Microsoft XP like tubes screensaver? That's what it looks like inside your TV. They're constantly moving around.
They're moving the information around.
They have different
Like
textures
water.
on them.
Man,
They have
why you guys keep laughing at my stupid things that make noise like the finger puppets? It's not even a joke.
It's just a lie.
It's just an idea.
I just like the idea of the TV having tubes in it that move around and they're really colorful and have different textures. That's
So,
how they convey information.
Yeah, chapter 9, then David started defending himself in the same way I was in my head when he was like, dude, I don't have a home, I can't go anywhere, just like, let me chill in this empty hotel room, dude, like, come on. And then I thought Jake was being a little bit too much like, yo, do what I say, instead of like, oh, hey, if you used morphs for fun, we could all die and stuff. Like,
but at the same
he didn't
time,
emphasize that enough, but
at
like,
the same time,
whatever, he's Jake, he's a kid, he's
it's understandable.
under
Even
stress.
if he's not a kid, it's understandable.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh, mustard, by the
That's
way.
what I was thinking while reading it. What?
The screensaver's officially called pipes, not tubes.
Pipes. Dude, we have that on my computer. We could go upstairs and stare at the computer and wait for it to go into screensaver, and we could literally see
Dude,
that.
why are we reading Animorphs? Let's don't do that.
I called Mario pipes tubes as a kid, so.
Yeah.
That's cute. Makes sense.
Chapter 10.
Our own minds and brains are pushed into zero space and maintain contact with morph by means of a... We knew that, right?
What did you just say?
We didn't know that their minds and consciousness were in zero.
Wait,
I thought
what?
that sounded kind of new, but I wasn't entirely sure.
Hang on, wait. I missed that. Read that again.
Page 51.
The minds...
X
My
talks
thing
about
doesn't have
zero
pages.
space. He says the extra mass is extruded into zero space. Our own minds and brains are pushed into zero space and maintain contact with the morph by means of a... Then he gets cut off.
Oh, because they're like, shut up, Axe, is boring or something?
Well, that explains...
What is he talking about, David Ass? We don't have any idea, but he's right. It works. Just relax with it.
So that explains why they're able to, like, you know, not
Be
just be a stupid dragonfly.
That explains why their brains don't get dumber
As they get
when...
smaller.
So the brain is still itself when it's in zero space? It's just like a brain floating around?
But they get individual.
Yeah.
How does it keep functioning if it's not connected to the heart?
Magic.
Technology.
Okay.
Well, I assume Z space is like another dimension.
Oh, that's true. Maybe things are...
And that also explains... That also explains how a Yerk could control you while morphing into something small. Because the Yerk would be pulled into
I think it's said that Yerks can't morph stuff
Yerks
small though.
can't
They've said that they can't
take
do
over
they can't do anything smaller than
brains.
sharks or whatever.
Well, they can't take over something small, but if they take
but
over
wait,
something...
if Visser 3 turns
Oh,
into
Visser 3,
something
yeah, okay.
tiny,
Yeah, then I think the Yerk would still... The Yerk is in the DZ space controlling him the same way that the brain is.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
so wouldn't that
weird.
mean that anytime they morph something, they have a chance of like the Z space thing, like the problem where they morph too big and the mass gets like hit by a ship in Z space?
Yeah.
It's not just when you're big; it's like literally your brain.
But it's exponentially small.
I think Cavalcade didn't think of that.
That's probably not the right word.
No, probably not.
It's fine though, because it's like millions of chances.
Yeah, it's a really cool explanation. Thanks for bringing that up.
was
I
cool.
totally missed that.
It also makes me wonder if, like, when they were developing the morphing technology... when they were developing the morphing technology, I wonder if, like, they got anybody who, like, turned into a bug and then had the mind of a bug and because they didn't connect their brain to the Z-space part, and then they just were a bug and they couldn't turn back because they were too stupid.
Yeah.
I wonder if that happened to anybody.
That'd be pretty bad. Anyway, this kind of reminded me of in the Kirby Right Back at You anime. This might be cringe, so cut it off. It turns out to be cringe.
No.
But
This whole
it's
podcast is
established
cringe.
in the Wispy Woods episode that when Kirby eats things, they get sent to like a different dimension. I guess it's not explained well. But like they go to this weird other area where it's just like stars and crap.
It's like the TARDIS.
So that I came up to a after he eats a bunch of apples, his brain like goes and he searches through all the apples like he ate and he finds the one that was the apple he was looking for. Such a weird episode.
Sounds
Anyway.
pretty epic.
Is that canon?
Anyway, I don't know if it's canon to the games, but it's canon to the anime. Anyway, so that led me to come up with my own headcanon that the way Kirby's he works is that like his brain and consciousness are stored like in another dimension, and that's why he can eat things, and also when he eats things they go into another dimension, and that's how he can make stars, and
Oh yeah, he does make stars.
and that's why he can eat a bunch of things, but he doesn't grow any bigger.
I assume he just like poops out really fast.
Oh my god.
Oh no, he's constantly like farting, like
He's
No, he's not.
It turns into gas and energy to propel him
no. He
upwards.
like spits. He'll like puff in air and then like spit out slightly more air.
That's true.
Man,
He can like kill things by blowing on them. I forgot about that.
we just need Cavalcade to explain how eating in Morph works now, and then we'll have like the.
It just goes into zero space.
I want confirmation though.
Yeah.
What chapter are you on?
Chapter 10.
That would be
I'm
chapter
on
10. Yep.
I like in chapter 11 is the chapter where I
It's
like
not 10. Continue.
Chapter 11 is the chapter where I like the chemistry they have and David like reacting to it. Rachel says, when they're being fleas riding on Jake's back, Rachel says, "It's kind of fun. The wind whistling through the chinks in my body armor, rustling the spikes on my legs. You people are all crazy," David said. "At one level, it's kind of fascinating, you know," Cassie said. "I mean, did anyone ever read the Miss Spider books? Miss Spider's Tea Party, Miss Spider's New Car? This could be Miss Spider Goes Flying. You people are all crazy," David repeated. Nice.
That's a cute scene.
Yeah, nice. Like, and David's like, what a reasonable, good-natured guy, taking it in stride. You know, just being fun. Good job, David. Until the.
I like
so far,
when,
so good, David.
I like when So okay, that's why I bring up shrimp colors because I like when Jake's turning into a dragonfly and he says that he can see strange purples and intense reds. So I'm like, oh, he's looking at things that are past the human spectrum of light.
Oh yeah,
like ultraviolet and infrared.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about the fact that they mentioned purple and red specifically.
Yeah, because when he looks at the building, it's like all red.
Yeah,
right?
I just thought that. Oh man, you're right.
I was like, okay, yeah, shrimp colors because
he
can see more colors than humans.
Shrimp colors.
Mantis shrimps can famously have 12 cones of light in their eyes and can see.
Man, that's a shrimp.
Yeah.
Do people eat those ones?
I don't know.
He also calls it super bug vision and mega bug vision in all caps. I mean,
but
SBV
not,
and MBV in caps.
But not mega butt vision.
Oh yeah, then he talks about his butt also in the same chapter. He says, I definitely saw the way my butt, yes, sorry, my butt suddenly began to grow, period, and grow, period, and grow.
I love the writing in these books.
Period. Out and out and out. I'm saying that too loud, I'm sorry. That's my last one on chapter 10.
Oh man, this freaked me out because it described his legs coming out of his chest like hyperactive worms crawling out of an apple. Now, most morphing descriptions don't get to me, but if you bring up worms, especially hyperactive worms, that would get to me. Mm-hmm. That was scary.
I still to me,
is that what he's morphing
that one's
into
not
a
as good as the one that where it was like,
dragonfly,
it's like,
yep.
Well, someone says that the legs shot out of me like someone stepped in a tube of toothpaste.
That part I thought was cool. I don't like when they're
funny.
shooting out like spider legs. That's scary to me.
No, that's just cool. That's cool. I'd say
cool.
It's kind of cool.
I'd say the coolest one is the shooting out like spiders.
The funniest is the toothpaste.
And the grossest is the toothpaste.
It's funny though.
It's kind of funny, I guess. But
it comes out like finger puppets with pipes. Windows pipes.
Finger puppets. Windows pipes.
So we're all in disagreement of which one of those three is the grossest and the scariest and the coolest.
So then there's this tense scene where like they're about to run out of time.
Wait, isn't that chapter 12?
That's later.
Guys, I'm on 11.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I just keep skipping to where I have no.
Axe says you put your wars on television for people to go and watch.
Oh, that's a good line. Yeah.
I forget what the context was. If you know what to say it, I guess.
Oh, because it's yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
You weren't there.
What? No, the.
You were in the vent as a dragonfly? You don't know.
I wasn't in Desert Storm.
Straight vented. I'm sorry for that joke.
What did you say?
I said sauce.
It's gonna be so
vented.
outdated. It's
by the time this
outdated.
uploads in like 5 years.
Is this some bellman who's talking to a news guy?
Dude, I love the beginning of chapter 12. I'm still on chapter 11 though, but
it's just a bell guy, and he's like, "Hey, news guy, do you know the super hot, that one really hot
that's a great
news person?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh yeah, she's the best, right? Do you know this other one?" And he's like, "No." That's it. That's all the filler talk in this chapter.
I just
in this book pretty much.
I know you love side
something
characters.
Important. Well, I guess this isn't important, but Axe. They're talking about hats, and Axe is like, "What's a hat?" And then
what is a hat? Again, I have to ask, what is a hat?
You're a hat.
Because the plan is to
fly into a bell.
Yeah, bell guy's
hat.
like tipping his hat up, and they're like, "Oh, we hide in the hat, and then hover inside it so he doesn't notice."
Just stupid.
And it's like, dude, why don't you just like stick to the top of the hat with the dragonfly legs instead of trying to hover above it while he's moving?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we can't hide on
There's no
his.
way they wouldn't bump into.
They're
it.
like, oh, we can't be on his head because he'd notice, but he won't notice. Like, aren't dragonflies like kind of loud when they buzz? I guess not. Probably not.
Would you not?
I figured
the
they would be
air
loud
on his
enough.
head?
Yeah, like just stick to the top. Like dragonflies can like crawl on walls, can't they?
If
Just,
they
like,
pick,
stick to
if
the
they pick
hat.
someone with thin hair or a bald person, they would definitely feel that.
Well, I think he was bald.
I don't
Was
think
he?
it-
I don't know.
I just assume he was bald because
Why
he's
would
wearing
you
a
say
hat.
I assume he had hair because fleas were interested.
Only bald people wear hats. It's not like it's part of their uniform or anything.
If I was started going bald, I would wear hats a lot more.
This is the bellhop uniform.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
related to the fact
Entire-
he's bald.
Entire reason why they picked this guy.
The entire reason why he became a bellhop because he's bald.
Yeah, don't you know?
They only hire bald people.
Bald people get to apply to be bellhops just they need an excuse to wear a hat.
Anyway, bad. What is a hat?
Oh yeah.
I wrote this down too.
I didn't have any better idea. Neither did anyone else. Sorry.
No, I mean.
Oh wait, what?
Anyway, no, that wasn't really related to the hat. Okay, so X is confused about hats. He says, "Is there any part of a human that cannot be clothed?" Yeah, the face. That hits different in COVID times.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also, Islamophobia. That was the note that I wrote. Like, people wear things over their faces all the time, Marco. You dummy.
Didn't Rachel say that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
Rachel
skipped the
said
best
that.
part of that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, the face, which is too bad when you consider Marco's face. And then Marco says, "Hey, you know I'm the cutest flea you've ever seen. No one has prettier blood-sucking mouth parts than me." I thought that was a great line.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh at this book at all, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I laughed at one part.
I smiled at the beginning.
I laughed when David called Tobias racist. I LOL'd at that.
There's a part I LOL. I don't remember it, but I did write it down.
I wrote LOL on my notes, but I never actually laughed. Every time I write LOL on my notes, I add a note that's like, "Oh, I didn't actually laugh, by the way," just to specify.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Wow. Alright. So,
Not like as a whatever.
Jake
continue.
gets stuck in a spider web. That's what happens in chapter 12.
That's the idea.
Wait, we weren't.
They're really running out of time. It's like tense. Oh no. we're
Yeah,
running
like,
out of
dude,
time.
they're stupid,
Why?
dumb.
Why?
Because like not morphing is like the worst thing that you can do. Not unmorphing, but they're like, "Oh wait, we can't unmorph here." because
Jake
people
sees a
might
metal
notice."
bathtub and he's like, "Okay, we cannot morph here."
Wait,
There's
why?
a weird freaking gizmo. We cannot demorph here.
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess so.
and then they
He doesn't
ended morph-
describe to the
I was like,
reader what
oh,
it is.
let me guess, the ballroom is full of people, or maybe there's Yerks swimming around, maybe
Yeah, but
there's
no, it was, like,
taxons
empty.
there.
And then they
No?
end up unmorphing them anyway when it's really hard. It's like, guys, you know how much sex should be stuck in morph. That's more important than like, "Oh, I don't want to morph there because what if
Yeah.
someone notices?"
Well,
Like,
no, someone noticing there would be pretty bad because there's like controllers maybe, and they're gonna
Yeah.
kidnap them.
Not as bad as being stuck in morph.
Not as bad as being stuck in morph.
Because if they're all stuck in morph as dragonfly.
It's like they had like
they're
5 minutes left, and they decided to like use that time like looking around. For
Let's
just
troll
like
around and
find somewhere
let's troll
anywhere.
around an
also,
event.
they mentioned that like how hard it was to get the fleas to stick to the dragonflies in the first place because they
They
had to
spent
like,
Yeah.
jump
an
around.
hour
They
getting
spend
the
a whole
fleas
hour. It's
to
just like,
jump
well, you
around
know how
on
to
them.
do it now. Maybe like you can do it faster. If
Yeah,
you
that's what I was
again.
thinking. Or like maybe have somebody stay like a bird or something and just pick them up, fleas up, and stick them on the dragonfly's
Yeah.
back. Like there are many better ways you could have done that and could have had more time.
Couldn't they find a bathroom somewhere in Demorph? Like I don't know, anywhere, man.
And then he goes an event just like in the hit game Among Us.
The popular right now hit game.
So
Very-
I'll redo that so that there's more time. He trolls an event like the hit game Half-Life,
That's better.
And he's,
No, the hit game FNAF.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at
The
Freddy's.
hit, the
crawls
really,
an event,
the
the
really
Yerks are
relevant
like,
Okay,
things
I think
from
the
Nights at
actual first thing I think of when they do crawling events is Metal Gear Solid. That's my actual answer.
I'm editing like episode book 12 right now, by the way, for time frame and how behind we are.
Doom 3 has events too. Doom 3 has like the most realistic events.
so
Where
can
there's
we talk
actually
about
like piping and stuff
maybe
like
the
that.
first like
It's really
really
cool.
screwed up part of this book?
The flea
Yes!
losing blood.
We finally
Yeah.
got to the famous part, the flea blood.
Famous?
Famous? Did I mention this before?
Oh wait, it's not famous, but okay, yeah, okay.
It's the
For
titular
context,
Sound
part.
this is
billboards.
another one of those things that Being Astral told me about before I decided to start reading Animorphs.
Oh.
She probably forgot about this.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Being natural, you're awful at avoiding spoiling people.
I did.
It's not
write-
much of a spoiler though. This is a very small scene. All
I
she
did-
does is demorph and it's fine.
I did write that freaking. I did write down this. Okay. He notes that
I did
Cassie
write.
the flea is oozing blood. Blood was squishing out through the armored plates. This is when he's demorphing. My blood, my morphing body must have created a semi-human artery. The sudden surge of blood pressure had burst Cassie's insides.
Yeah.
Why?
I wrote that down.
Why would you write that?
No reason to include that.
So he's like half
This is
morphed,
more trauma.
half unmorphed as a dragonfly, but he has human arteries and it
Yeah.
crushes because the fleas on it like crush it, man.
She was like biting into him, so like
Yeah.
freaking with a sudden surge of blood that just freaking surges into her mouth and then bursts her insides. Like,
Oh,
thanks,
what? Is that what
Captivate.
happens?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, burst Cassie's. It does say burst Cat. Wow, Cassie's inside.
Thanks, Capelgate. And then she's fine. Capelgate just add in these things for more trauma. They just have to, like, these books have to be traumatic, which is like, it's realistic, I guess. I mean, obviously it's not realistic. But
What book was the last one where they like almost got stuck in a morph? All of them. Was that 3?
No, that was when they were trying to morph out a wolf.
Yeah, the one where the Jake P's all over.
Wasn't that all the way back in book 3?
What?
Wasn't that book 3?
Yeah, it was all the way back in book 3 when Tobey was like, "Oh no, they're gonna get stuck as half human, half wolf monsters."
Yeah.
Oh no, how terrible.
And Jake is like half. Oh, Mako was like half giant flea, and
he was like all giant flea.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna."
That
get stuck as a
sounded
giant
horrifying because they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he tried to jump, but then he was too heavy." So I'm like, "Oh, he's like completely incapacitated."
Yeah.
I think this was
He
slightly
can't
less
do
scary than the
anything.
wolf one, but maybe only because it was the first time and it was just so shocking that they were like stuck in these terrifying half wolf, half human, like not like sexy not vampires, not like sexy werewolf, half human, with these terrifying monsters.
So
My next note's just Andalite penetration.
I actually. Okay.
I didn't even write that down. I didn't
Wait,
even
hang on, what
notice that.
chapter?
That's like 4 chapters.
They start
wait,
trying to
I have-
morph, but there's a giant flea.
I have that written there, but I have that written down actually, but for a different reason.
Yeah, hang on. Why didn't Jake want to go into the ballroom? Did he realize there was a yolk pool or what?
I don't even know. He doesn't describe it to the reader.
He doesn't. Yeah.
until he gets in there.
It's just the back is too slopey. I don't know.
Like, because I remember when I was reading it, I assumed it was a ballroom full of people, and then it turns out it was empty. I was like, it was empty? Why didn't they try to morph there before?
He was
Like
nervous.
crawl under a table and demorph.
Also, who's the shoeman who was in the last book? That's not the president, right? It's like
Yeah, we assumed it was the president.
It was
but apparently they weren't sure about it all along.
it was the guy who was planning the whole
Yeah.
banquet or something.
Yeah.
I think-
Right, because then they were able to plan the yeah.
I think they had a good explanation for why Visser 3 didn't just put a controller in him. It says put a Yerk in him, make him a controller. They said it was because it would be really hard to get him like close to a Yerk pool,
Yeah.
since there would be Secret Service people watching him at all times.
That's a good explanation, yeah.
So they're gonna wait until they can build a giant Yerk pool in the White House.
And there's a Yerk pool in this resort right now, and the Animorphs consider like genociding it, but they don't. And yeah,
Yeah,
that
and
comes
then
back.
that's interesting. Yeah, the way it comes back is interesting. I like that. Interesting.
It was cool.
But then it doesn't really matter in the end anyway, because they knew it anyway.
There's chapter 15, which is just exposition. Okay, then there's chapter 16, where the Yerks, they look in the pool, the controllers look in the pool, and they're like, oh, the Yerks are all alive. No way we have Andalite penetration then. They'd never leave our people alive. Clear the doors, I'll notify the others, hologram mom. And I was like, that's interesting, Andalite Yerk lore.
Yeah.
Like, they just have they think, Andalites would have just killed them.
If it was
time.
Andalites, well, our friends in the pool will not be alive.
That makes
Friends,
sense.
they're friends in the pool. You're friends,
Aw.
buddies. It's so cute.
Pals.
The two Animorphs book club.
Dude, I just
hosts.
love thinking about the Yerks as just like slugs swimming around in a pool.
I know you
It's
do.
just so peaceful and nice.
Yeah, but they don't like that. They're unhappy there.
It's not fulfilling. They want more.
Shh, friends in the pool. Shut up, Stir. Don't ruin our friends in the pool fantasy. Did you circle friends in the pool or anything?
No.
Okay. I was curious because I thought it'd be funny, like if like you did friends in the pool and we all did Andalite penetration, like the two types of ABC hosts.
If an Andalite penetrated a Yerk, no way would the Yerk survive.
Why did you say that?
Yeah, but that just came out of nowhere. Should we start talking about that and build up to that so you could edit that in beforehand so it sounds less weird?
No.
Guys, what do you think the different types of
That's the
alien
okay,
penetration would look like?
that's the cold open.
Man.
This scene of so they pull the fire alarm as a distraction.
Andalite penetration used to be the name of the episode.
No. It has to be Jake does the ballroom dance.
No,
That's boring,
he doesn't
though.
even do that. We don't even talk about we only talk about him doing that in the sense that we talk about how he doesn't do that.
Yeah, we're talking about
Oh wait,
it.
so then they say hologram on, and there's a hologram of a pillar or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like There's a yurt pool, but there's a hologram of a pillar around it, so that it looks
They
not
like
suspicious.
the controllers went in. They dug out this pillar, put a hologram of a pillar there, and it's actually an entrance to a yurt pool.
No, the way they did it was really cool. They had a blade ship hover like right above the pillar.
Okay, well that's not that. Is that
Blast-
important?
Yes, it is
Okay.
important later. Actually, it fires a Dracon beam or whatever like straight down through the building and like disintegrates the pillar and the the circle above it, the cylinder of building above it. Then they add in the force field and the hologram there to replace it. And when they're in the pillar, they look up and they see the sky.
Yeah.
And they actually leave.
My question is, how did nobody notice the explosion of the Dracon beam breaking the building?
It's super quiet.
They did it at night.
They did at night when it was foggy and the clouds were out, and
They just do it really quietly. Well, Visor 3...
That's true. Visor 3 does say, guys, don't shoot human guns because Dracon beams require it.
Yeah, but like every time
don't they make like a "Shoo" noise?
I know. Maybe they're like silent ones.
Yeah, they fixed it.
Yeah, they fixed it.
They put on the silencers.
They got new mufflers.
I guess maybe there's like different like levels used for like digging and whatever.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
They put it on dig mode.
And then David. I keep thinking of the word anonymously for some reason. I haven't been reading enough. I don't know words. David like suspiciously asks Jake, "Hey, who do you think would win in a fight, a lion or a tiger?" And it really bothers Jake because that's the battle morphs.
I don't think that's suspicious.
So Jake thinks that David wants to kill him.
No, I just think she wants to have a nice little wrestle.
So this image of like David and Jake like far away from each other somehow underneath a really long table, and David's morphing a lion, and Jake's silently mouthing no to him.
Wait, what? When is this?
When after they pulled the fire alarm as a distraction somehow they need a distraction so they can leave outside of the ceiling, and I like how I pointed up there. But when they pulled the fire alarm, like people were already in, so Jake and David had to like dive under the table because they didn't have time to get back into the pillar. So then they're like Yerk's controllers walking around the table, and David and Jake are there, and David starts morphing into a lion under the table, and Jake is like silently mouthing no to him, and David just keeps morphing into a lion, and that scene has been in my head for a long time.
That was pretty scary for me. I'm like, okay, he's actually gonna come out and kill those guys.
It's an image.
I really thought that would happen.
It's an image I had. It's
a
cool scene, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's an image I had in my head.
Hey, when they had Animorph fleas, wasn't David like, "Hey, I'm gonna Animorph a flea right now," and Jake was like, "No, you can't do it right now. We have to wait until we have 10 seconds left or something."
Well, they were in an event. He's like, if you morph.
Yeah, but they ended up doing it in an event anyway, didn't they?
No,
Jake starts to unmorph and then he remorphs, doesn't he?
Yes.
He flaps his wings really hard and it blows them out of the vent or something.
No, he just flies. He just flies really quickly out of the vent. Like David's like.
He takes this dragonfly.
Acts is like there are 30 seconds left, and then David's like, okay, I'm morphing now. I'm not like screw this.
He morphs,
which is very reasonable if you just like the first time you've ever been on a mission with these guys and you're a flea.
And they're really incompetent every time.
Yeah. So anyway, they get out. Yeah. I don't remember what my point was.
Did we mention how David pulled the fire alarm at his school to get out of taking a test?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty evil.
Really? I was gonna say, I hope Catholic is not trying to say this is evil, because this seems like a kind of like a regular sort of like middle school thing to do.
No one ever pulled the fire alarm.
No one ever pulled the fire alarm at my school.
That was a very,
punks do,
that's a
maybe.
very, very big offense. And
that's like a big deal.
It costs money because you have to right?
It also contacts the authorities and it's a waste of resources.
I'm pretty sure people did that at my high school.
Probably.
Oh my god.
This may have been a lie to dissuade kids from doing it. But I remember in our school they told us, guys, if you pull the fire alarm,
oh my God, it squirts.
there's a little glass bar that it shatters, and when you have to buy a new one. It's really expensive.
Oh
my gosh! Did I ever one be kid where Greg accidentally pulls the fire alarm, and then there's a rumor spreading that it sprays ink on your hands that you can only see under a black light.
Cat pee?
No.
Ink?
Do you guys have any other notes on chapter 16?
I'm on 18. Better notes. Hold on.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the adults are stupid. Okay, this isn't a good one, but one of them kicks Jake first, They don't notice.
Wait, they're like, hang on, they're under a table. While
someone just kicks Jake and just thinks nothing of it.
Yeah.
Well, Jake were there multiple people like under?
Well, you probably
the
think
table?
that they kicked like a.
You think it's like someone
or
else or something, right?
Probably think you kicked a
Kids
table.
are pretty squishy. You kicked them.
Not Jake. Look at him on this cover. Anyway, wait. Were there multiple people sitting at a table and they kicked him?
Yeah, they all sat down at the table.
Someone
Okay, well they probably thought they kicked someone else's leg then.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty loud in there.
I remember we were sitting at a table recently, and like your freaking foot touched me. I thought it was a spider or like some creature under the table. I was like, ah! And then it was just your foot, like way on the other side of the table, and I got upset at you.
Sorry about that.
Anyway.
And then later it says the adults almost step on David's tail. I'm like, how would they not notice that his tail is out if it's in front of them?
Yeah.
So that they're about to step on it.
I was just
Okay.
How did Jake know that his tail was sticking out and that people were about to step on his tail?
Okay, so you know how the man has like a cut in his shoe? Maybe like it was like perfect. With the cut. I don't remember him morphing into a tiger at all.
When I read that, I was just like, okay, whatever. This is just tension for the sake of tension. Nothing's gonna happen.
It is
And I just-
stupid.
Maybe Jake was
Let's
over
move
that.
on.
What? No, it's
Probably.
like good for. It's in character for David and Jake. There's good writing here where like David's like, "Had you worried, huh?" And then Jake is like, "No, I knew you were cool." And it's like that's a lie.
The part I like is so they're like, how are we gonna get out of here? And Jake's like, I know. How about you like bite me with your human teeth, and then we both morph at the same
That
time.
was really funny.
And then when we're done morphing, I'll be a dragonfly and you'll be a flea biting me. And then it just says
And then
it
we
worked.
did that.
the
It
idea
worked.
worked. And then they just leave.
No description of that at all.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny. It was
It's
like,
so funny.
and this works.
So that's just David just has his teeth just on Jake for 5 minutes and they morph at the same time.
fan art time.
Oh no.
Wait, his human teeth?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's just biting Jake for 5 minutes, or however long it takes to morph. What, like 2 minutes?
I'm in
3
at this
minutes?
point. They're good.
David, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but bite me.
And he just bites Jake for however long it takes for them to
We'll
morph at
morph
the same
together.
time, and it just works. There's no like arteries that like.
Oh yeah.
that gets in the way.
It doesn't turn out that Jake's back turns into some weird part of his body that isn't like the
Turns into his
dragonfly's
wings
tail.
and David bites his wings
Yeah.
off.
I thought you were gonna say like turns into his penis somehow. And...
Hey, what if you bit me on the back intending for me to turn into a dragonfly so you could turn into a flea and riding me, but then my back turned into my penis? Haha, just kidding. Unless
Wait, don't bugs mate by like touching their like backs together?
it's the end of their
No.
abdomens.
Yeah, that's like the back almost.
No, it's not. It's the
No.
end of their abdomens. If he
You know
bites-
what?
If he bites him on like his shoulder,
Its shoulder could turn into abdomen.
What the butt? That's way closer than like the. Never mind. Whatever. I don't know bug anatomy. You just you earlier today you like pulled out like 2 fireflies. Like, oh look, the mating. I was like, what? They're just touching butts. What do you mean?
Wait, you saw fireflies mating?
yeah, they were
That
on
was
the
cool.
ice.
That sounds cool.
They were on the
I
iced
would have
tea.
liked to see that. Good for you. Anyway, now that we're on chapter 17, I'm going to show you guys something.
What?
There used to be stickers or something here.
What are you
I don't
talking
know
about?
what.
Oh, there's like a rip in the middle.
And I don't know what it is.
Oh!
What could it possibly be?
Was it like a
Maxwell?
magazine?
Oh, dude.
You mail in and.
I feel like maybe, yeah, like they had an ad and they were like,
You
oh,
can-
mail
oh,
this to the publisher.
Okay,
or
so you can
something.
see on the edge, you can see like the morph from book 19.
What?
You can see this is the butterfly morph. From
For those who are
Oh, you're
confused,
right. Okay.
we're looking in the middle of the physical book, and there's a page torn out, which is like
There's
a colored page.
Yeah, it's like a
It's like a
Promotional
little
thing or
cardboard
something.
thing.
I don't think any of my books
Yeah,
has
okay.
one of those, but maybe like once they started advertising Nickelodeon, they started putting those in.
But also, I have a bookmark.
Oh, that's true. It says, watch Animorphs on TV.
It says wahahaha.
No, I
Oh.
said that
Why did you say that?
because
Because capitalism
Monty,
is evil.
get Monty on your phone.
What?
You guys don't
Oh.
remember that was in a group chat like 2 days ago.
Oh, Monty. Okay.
What?
Watch Animorphs on Nickelodeon TV.
We can't just make references to videos I watched 2 days ago. I'm not gonna remember it by the time I edit. Let alone anyone else is gonna know what we're
I have
talking
no
about.
idea what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh, you guys are dumb.
Yeah.
The Chi hologram technology
Anyway,
is much more advanced
It
than
says watch
Andalite.
Animorphs on
Oh.
Nickelodeon.
Banner, you have by far the best memory in this room. It is like a humongous long shot there.
It's like from like Andalites to like humans.
Oh, that's a good line. We should talk about that one.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, chapter 18.
Marco gets roasted.
Uh,
Humans get roasted, I guess.
I didn't actually write down that part. I wrote down the stuff before it. Just Axe being Pious.
I have some notes on chapter 17, and
Go on.
I'm not going to talk about either of them.
Okay.
They're both just stupid comments I wrote. I'm not going to say that.
I like how David's knowledge of NSA stuff is being utilized here.
Oh yeah, because his dad's like a dude.
Good job on actually following up with that, Capelgate. It's not too important to the plot, but it's a nice detail.
Cassie says, typical males. All you think about is plot. You always forget it's about personality. It's about character.
What's the context of that?
Cassie thinks a better explanation than the one I explained earlier is just that Vista 3 has an ego, which is why he needs to be that one dude instead of the more obvious.
I think that is a better
Isn't that what we said last episode?
Well, yeah, because that was the only explanation they had.
But I still think that's a better explanation because, like, it's not that logical when you think about it. Because, like, they were like, oh...
What, the Yerk pool explanation? That he can't get the Yerk pool?
They were like, well, he can't get a Yerk pool. He won't have time to, like, go to a Yerk pool by himself for in 3 days, but Visitor 3 will have time to, like, demorph in the span of 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would
He was go to the bathroom.
Well, because they have the guy like behind the pillow to like swap out.
All right, sure.
So
I don't feel like thinking about that too much. It seems not interesting.
So they see the hologram pillow and Axe is like, oh, this Yerk hologram is so bad compared to Andalite technology. Well, that technology is great. And then they're like, wait, but the Andalite technology is better because they have good holograms all over, right? And Axe is like, yeah, the Chi hologram technology is way more advanced than Andalites, but like, you know, Andalite has appeared in every other way since we're Andalites and we're awesome. There's a human roast after that, I guess. I don't know what.
Yeah, and then Marker's like, so it's like human. It's probably like humans and like monkey technology, and then Andalites, and then Axe is like, no, humans and monkeys are pretty close, but Andalites and Chi are.
Man, that was a lot less smooth when you said it than when Rex said it.
Better. What is it? Do you want to say it?
Oh, what page is it on?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Way superior. I mean, just so I have this straight, you're saying that Chi technology would be to Andalite technology like human technology is to, say, chimpanzees? Then X says, actually, the gap would have to be even wider since there really isn't all that much of a difference between human technology and chimpanzee technology. And then Rachel calls Axe Axeman.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Everyone's appropriating Tobias' name for him.
So sad.
I was like looking through like the history of people using the word Axeman, and it seemed like Tobias used it the most genuinely, like speaking to Axe. He's like, oh, hey Axeman, what's up? You cool. When like everyone else uses it kind of sarcastically, like, oh, the Axeman here, he's got, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like Tobias seemed like very genuine in his use every time.
What a sweetie.
So,
Tobias is great. Too bad there wasn't that much Tobias in this book.
Chapter 17 is the part where
Tobias
Jake...
got fridge.
Yeah.
You got what?
Chapter 17 is that means you put something in the refrigerator.
See, he got a little stale, so they had to...
No, I mean,
they had to keep...
right.
I know what you mean, be natural.
He got killed for the sake of, like, someone else to be upset about it.
Anyway, my other note on chapter 17... Jake tells everyone about Sadler and how he got hit by a car.
Oh, Sadler's his cousin? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And David made the right noises of sympathy, but Jake says he can see something disturbing in his eyes. Something I couldn't quite put my finger on. He seemed to be shining with a restrained excitement like someone who had just figured out how to win the lottery. And I heard an echo of Cassie's words in my mind. It's always about character. I was like, oh, that's going to be another thread. Like, this is going to be a plot point. Like, David has an idea of how they can be free for most of their other missions. I'm like, okay, so is David just going to start killing off all their family members? So that they'll have more free time?
What would that accomplish?
I don't know.
Yeah, more free time.
Because in the end, he doesn't have to go on Animorphs missions, because Jake will be busy here.
Yeah.
Man, Jake, you're reading way too much into David, in the small things he does.
Yeah, although, and then this just never goes anywhere. I have no idea what
maybe we'll go somewhere next book,
well,
because the Sadler thing hasn't been, like, finished
resolved yet. I hope.
The next chapter...
This seemed really interesting to me.
Jake is like, there had been some things. And he's like, the way he'd been in the Eagle Wharf and attacked some passing bird for no reason. So, like...
Just like we've all done at some point or another.
Jake literally eats a mosquito when he's a dragonfly.
But that's a mosquito.
No, that's eating. Evil. That's eating. Birds don't eat birds, probably.
Yeah, but it's the thing is, it's his instinct to eat the mosquito. The bird's instinct was to kill the crow.
No, it wasn't.
Dude, crows and like birds of prey are actually like evil to each other.
Didn't Tobias say like that they
Tobias said golden eagles are evil. Tobias said golden eagles are like
golden eagles are evil.
They're eagles.
Guys, David is evil because he wanted to be a golden eagle and
David
not the
just
other
likes
bird.
dead things a lot.
That's true.
He just really loves dead people and dead animals. He just loves it. He's just really happy around them. My next note is just, I'm not even going to say it. I don't want...
Chapter 19 is the part where I laughed.
Someone says the word Among Us, and I just wrote it in all caps, so that's my note.
Okay.
Chapter 19 is the part where I laughed out loud. Axe, I will go first, Axe said. If I appear to run into an invisible wall and am knocked unconscious and fall towards the ground, you'll know that the force field is still too strong at this height. Was that Andalite humor? I could never be sure. And I laughed out loud, so...
Well, I thought he was just
I didn't
being
laugh
serious.
out loud. I was actually right on track with Jake. I was like, wait, was that a joke?
Yeah.
I thought he was just being serious and nothing...
I didn't whether or not he was
question
being
it.
serious, I thought it was funny. I think he was telling a joke.
I wrote that, so in chapter 18 they talk about the president, they never say his name, so I just named him President Clutter.
It's President
Yes, President Clutter.
Yeah,
I was really worried this was going to turn into Animorphs. It didn't really get that close though.
One of my notes there's just, it's President Clutter and then a happy face.
Man, book 10, the first book 10 was so weird, man.
The first book 10.
Yeah.
The second book 10 was a little better.
That was pretty weird too.
No.
They were both like outside of the Animorphs canon.
What?
Because book 10
I've
was all like...
forgotten.
No, that was book 11.
that was book 11, never mind.
Idiots.
What's book 10? No, it doesn't matter. Go.
Andrew.
There were an extreme number of guys in the dark suits with sinister bulges. Okay, next note.
I had a note about chapter 18. Jake is talking about how he doesn't really know David or anything about him. That reminded me of a Babysitters Club book, actually, where they hire some new babysitters for the Babysitters Club, but they don't, like, interview them or anything. And it turns out
the babysitters kills
that the new
existing babysitter.
babysitters, yeah, they actually murder one of the others.
Wait, really?
Yeah. But
I didn't read those
they're
books.
mean and they're not very good at babysitting.
Yeah, you should probably like vet your babysitters. That's kind of important.
So that's all the notes I have for like a while.
Okay, so what happened next plot-wise? Like, the meeting the meeting actually happens,
Yeah.
and they're like hiding in the pillow, watching it, waiting for the right moment.
They morph into the people. They go into a whole paragraph about how morphing people is bad, but it's fine this time. They morph the people and put on their suits.
Oh yeah, they're like, I know what you're thinking. We have a rule against morphing other humans, but it was necessary to save humanity this time.
Shut up!
It's
I
like,
was not thinking that.
no one cares, and also it's always necessary to save humanity because you're Animorphs.
Yeah.
You're saving humanity.
So Visser's plan is to, when the people go up to tell the speech, they're gonna walk around the pillar, and then when they're behind the pillar, they're gonna grab that person into the hologram pillar and yerk them, and then put a hologram of someone giving a speech instead.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. And then when they're done, when the hologram's done with the speech, they'll go back behind the pillar and they'll throw out the yerk to president.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the Animorphs were just gonna be like, alright, so we'll just grab, since we knocked out the controllers and we're pretending to be the controllers now, we'll just explain to them that the aliens are real and everything, and then we'll just throw them back out after 3 minutes and do the whole thing to all of them.
Yeah, I remember Jake's like, I want to step out of the pillow and say, hey guys, aliens are real.
Check out my man Axe here.
Yeah, but he was like, oh, it's a bad idea. And I was like, man, doesn't the government like already know aliens are real? I guess not, though, because the only alien technology they have is like a toilet. So like,
That book doesn't matter.
they're pretty close. Yes, it does. Zone 53 showed up in my note, so it does matter.
91. You need to remember the name of the zone.
Why do I remember the name of the zone?
Because it was important, apparently.
But I was like, man, what if that's like the plot twist of this trilogy? That like the government actually knows about the aliens the whole time. That'd be kind of cool and like realistic.
Yeah, I
probably.
didn't like the twist in this book. I didn't think it was that great.
What? The whole
That
hologram. Hologram.
It's pretty stupid.
And then I woke up, it was a dream.
But
no.
But it was kind of shocking. We're like, what? This is a trap. Visser 3 is smart this time.
Are we just gonna skip to that?
Wow.
It
Yeah,
made
nothing
sense in a
else.
plot. It made sense in a plot sense.
Yeah, but it was a surprise to me.
I totally forgot they morph humans in this. So dude, so don't they just have some dude morph?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So
I wrote
weird.
that in the list of morphs. Like, I wrote male human controller guy, government guy.
I really like the part where they don't know how to tie a tie, and like all the guys are having trouble with it, and then Rachel's like, "Geez, come on!" And then Rachel like ties all the ties. I think most times if you want to tie, it has been tied by a girl, so like it's very realistic. I think. I don't know how to tie a tie. You know what I'm saying? No. You should learn. Yeah, I know. So should these Animorphs.
Human controller government man.
They're 13. They
Yeah,
don't know how to tie a tie.
They didn't know how to tie a tie. If they're like going to if they're like in choir or something, I don't know.
Axe, David, and Jake now have human controller government man morphs, according to my list.
Yeah, they didn't want Rachel or Cassie morphing into the human dudes.
Yeah.
For some
they
reason.
didn't?
Yeah, they said this is a boys only mission, okay?
Huh. And yeah, that part of the ties reminded me of when they were in the elevator trying to figure out how to use an elevator with animal hands. I thought it was silly. I like those moments in Animorphs, which just like really silly parts for no reason.
It's nice. It's like it's not unrealistic, so it's
like those two specific parts stood out as those parts similar to each other, and that's all.
So I like how David acts here, like where David's like, okay, so he thinks that the Harpagir are real, so he's like, I'm on your side, and then their Animorphs are all so angry, and then they find out the Harpagir aren't real, and then David like, yo, should I attack Wizard 3?
Wait, what? That's like way ahead. What are you talking about?
No,
that's like where we are. What else happened?
We're talking about how they find out it's a hologram.
No, we're talking about before they found out it's a hologram. I'm on chapter 20 still. What even happened? Nothing happened. Okay, well I thought it was cool how like Jake is like the gears are spinning in his head, and he's like, and I thought it was just gonna be like a cop out. Like, I mean, not a cop out, but like nothing was actually wrong. But turns out it was, because like the thing that makes Jake realize it, or like almost realize it, is because someone's like, oh, I saw the president out there wearing shorts, and then they go inside and he's not wearing shorts, and they're like, Jake's like, oh, whatever, it's probably nothing, and he says, oh, I could have stopped it if I stopped to think about how well a great horned owl can see at night, and how recognizable the president is, and how long it takes to put on a tuxedo. And I was really confused when I first read that. I was like, okay, wait, horned owls can see well at night, and the president's really recognizable, and I guess it takes a long time to put on a tuxedo. Because I assumed, like, oh, maybe the president just changed out. But yeah, Jake, I guess he didn't.
There's also a point where one of the lead weights that they used to knock out the dudes, one of them comes out of the force field, but nobody notices.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Also, they don't notice because they're all holograms?
Yeah.
Man, I didn't even think about that. And that's why they don't notice Jake earlier.
When?
When they come in to talk about the plan.
Well, don't you think those weren't holograms because they like stepped on them?
They came in.
Those were the actual people, weren't
those
they?
Were real.
Oh yeah, they came in because they came in for the fire alarm.
Those were like the controllers.
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
So it turns out,
totally
I guess we're to this part now. It turns out like the whole thing was a hologram. And the actual meeting is tomorrow.
They got the date
wrong. But no one's there setting up.
Jake's like, I assume the banquet's tonight. I'm like, why would you assume that?
Oh, does he say that?
Yes, he literally says that. Yes.
Okay. I was wondering, like, they were, at one hand they said Eric's information is very good, but, like, was Eric's information just wrong? But, like, no, I guess Jake just assumed.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, that's very silly.
Also, I guess Eric King was wrong, I guess? Or no? Oh, no, it was still there.
To be fair, maybe the Yerks could have been giving them clues that it's tonight, and Jake was like, okay.
I just wrote, like, wow, this is really silly. The Yerks were giving off subliminal clues, like, oh, are you ready for that thing tomorrow? And Jake just, like, heard it, but didn't realize that he heard it, so he just had a hunch that it was tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. I like how David likes flip flops. That seems realistic.
But what are you talking about?
When he finds out.
I'm still
that
kind
it's
of before
hologram.
that. Oh, I thought you meant that he wears flip flops, and I thought you meant Marco when you said David.
He wears flip
flops
flops.
They're similar names.
Yeah,
I like Visit 3 in this book. Like I think this is the first time he like set a trap for them, except in the book that didn't happen. And I think I think in this trilogy, like I said this last episode, I think Scary Visit 3 is back. Although he's still kind of dumb, but he's much scarier than he's been for a while. Oh, yeah, I like how they're about to kill each other, and then just like, hey, if you shoot him, I'm gonna kill you. And they're like, well, I guess we're gonna stop fighting now. And then someone's like, hey, people are coming. And they're like, oh, oops, okay, bye. And then just leave and come back tomorrow. What? That's like 4 chapters up. Nothing else happens in between. I have a bunch of notes in 22, 23. So like Vizzo's like, all of my trusted lieutenants could have an Andalite body if I capture you guys. And I was like, oh, that's cool that he like trusts people. And then he's like, I'll kill every one of you if you don't comply. And I'm like, one by one. It's like, okay, yeah, he would do that because he doesn't care about lieutenants having them. And they're like, whoa, a hologram inside a hologram inside a hologram. Whoa, that's crazy. I'm like, shut up. I vote shut up, dude. No one cares. Like, whatever. Inception, yeah, I saw the movie.
Oh, David and Cassie start fighting.
Oh, yeah.
David's like, I'm gonna morph out. And then Cassie bites his...
That's cool.
Bites his leg.
Yeah, you were skipping to when they leave? So much interesting stuff happens during this whole fight.
Nothing interesting happens.
Shut up. The Hook, so they find out that the Hook, so they're all morphed in the battle morphs. Mark is a snake. And Jake's like, yo, can they see you? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And then, like, Jake finds out that they're all holograms because, like, there's no way they could get a bunch of Hook Bajir into the White House. Then, like, Axe, like, puts his thing to Visit 3's neck, and I was surprised that he didn't kill him, but I guess it's because, like, Visit 3...
I'm like, he could have just killed him.
I think he didn't because he knew that they would shoot his friends. And
Jake would have been like, no, don't. We need...
Well, Axe cares about his friends now. He cares about his human friends, so he didn't kill Visit 3. Instead, let his human friends live.
You keep saying Dave, and I keep thinking you mean Marco.
And I like when Visit 3 is like, which one of you is human? And Axe is like, lol, human, what?
Good Axe. Good Axe moment.
And then Visit 3 is like, I know David's here. And then
David's like, that's me.
And he says killing him in... Wait, is he referring to David here? Killing him in cold blood wouldn't suit the Andalite hypocritical sense of morality.
Yeah, he's referring to David.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, nice attack on the Andalites there.
Hypocritical, how they would have killed the Yerks in cold blood.
And then they say, David, they can't allow you to know the truth. And then David's like, maybe I'm not with the good guys. Which seems like kind of reasonable.
It seems very reasonable.
Like, these Andalites are like, like, why would he... What reason is they have to trust the Andalites more than the Yerks when they're like, hey, by the way...
The Andalites are the ones breaking into the White House.
Yeah.
And stealing stuff. Like... Yeah.
They almost forced him to be trapped as a flea.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the Secret Service starts coming, and they're like, oh, we have to go. And then they just... The Andalites and the controllers and visitors are part ways, and
they're like, we have to stop fighting right now. We don't want to get caught by the Secret Service. They're gonna know aliens exist.
And they just leave. They don't follow each other home or anything. They just bounce, and
it's like Book 9, the truce. They were the stinky skunk smell.
Stinky skunk book.
So that was the silliest Visit 3 moment in this, but Visit 3 was still scary.
I didn't find it interesting that Visit 3 is afraid of the Secret Service seeing him.
That is cool. Yeah.
I guess they're just...
That's why I think the Secret Service... I assume they know about aliens, but that's just... I don't know.
They're not powerful enough to stand up to the Secret Service yet. The Yerks are.
So, hang on. So, did Visit 3 say, like, oh, David, meet me... Oh, yeah. Visit 3 was like, oh, by the way, David, like, we can bring you to your parents. We won't, like, force you to be a controller, I promise. And, like, you can see your parents again. Just, they'll be controllers, whatever. Like, meet me at your house. We know where you live, so... If, do that if you want. Do they say that?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, why is Jake freaked out about David going back to his house? I forgot that they made that agreement while I was reading.
Yeah, but then...
So, yeah.
I mean, they were expecting... They probably had Hork Bajir around the house or controllers around the house the whole time, just thinking that David would try to go home just because he's homeless.
I forgot that he, like, made the deal with him.
And then they called David a slimy greaseball traitor or something. Like, I mean, he just like...
He's just a kid.
Oh, yeah, because what happened
he's just trying to see both sides.
Where
like, he hasn't done that
Cassie's
yet.
Just silent.
Cassie, we need Cassie in this book,
yeah,
you're right.
We need Cassie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all the Hopaju holograms.
Right.
So, during the whole fight, like, David is like, oh, yeah, I'm with you guys now. And then he uses it to, like, he gets close to Visit 3 and is able to, like, attack him. And then David's like, no, guys, I was faking the surrender the whole time, joining the other team, because, it's just, I was just pretending, guys, but, like, no one believes him.
Yeah.
None of the Animorphs believe that.
I like that. I like that dynamic. And then Jake says, don't tell him that you don't believe it.
Oh, yeah. He privately thought speaks to all the Animorphs individually and says, guys, like, stop fighting with David. I think it's more important that, like, he thinks we trust him, because otherwise it's going to be bad,
Yeah. That's cool. And I like the writing there.
That was a cool solution. It doesn't seem like something I'd usually think of,
Yeah, but it was also really infuriating to read because, like,
and then David gets really cocky.
David says, I was never going to surrender, and you had no right calling me a coward, Rachel. Maybe you're a coward. And then Jake says, Rachel, not one word. You hear me? Not one word. And then later, they all play along like they believe it, and then David says, like I was ever scared of that guy? No way. Him and me, we had a score to settle, and I would have taken him down. Only the way it played out, I couldn't, because they got Cassie and all. Yeah, thanks for holding back, David, Cassie said. I guess you saved my life. No problem, David said.
Yeah, they're a little bit too nice, I think. They don't have to go all out like that.
Well, especially since the first
They've been too mean before. They kind of have to balance it out.
I think they do have to go all out.
Well, then it seems fake.
But especially since the first thing Rachel said was like, "Oh, you're right," and then she's immediately like, "Oh yeah, you can go, David."
Maybe this also contributed to David's turn.
There's bad liars, I guess.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it. It's just that they're bad. Where are you going?
Getting my drink. How can I have my podcast without my drink?
Maybe.
Is that a SpongeBob reference?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh my god.
Maybe this did contribute because he was like, man, these guys are not trustworthy at all. Like, look, they're obviously just changed obviously they just had some private thought speak conversation without me. They're just changing their minds. I didn't even think about that. That's neat.
Chapter 25, chapter 26.
Jake sometimes leaves the TV on by accident. It's kind of cute, I thought.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Because if I was living in the 90s, like, I'll watch YouTube sometimes and then fall asleep with it on, like, in my earbuds. So, like, wait, what, did they fall asleep? Or I could leave it on by accident? Huh.
I like all of the rest of this book, basically.
Yeah, the book, gets way better at this point.
Better. Yeah.
Hopefully this continues into the next book.
This gets, like,
cool.
enormously better.
Hopefully it continues like this into the next book.
So, like, David, basically leaves the Animorphs.
Jake goes to Cassie's house and just, sits in her pickup truck and watches to see if David leaves.
Doesn't it rain on him?
And it's raining and he's cold and he's, in his morph suit.
And he's hopeful and he's like, man, being hopeful at 1 a.m. is depressing. I shouldn't do this again.
Man, it's the last, 4 chapters is, just amazingly better than the rest of the book. That's crazy.
But luckily Axe and Tobias are watching too because Jake falls asleep when David actually leaves. So Tobias follows David and
who is going to his house in order to meet Visit 3, we assume.
Yeah. Isn't he just watching TV when he finds him?
Yeah, but also Tobias is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jake follows him and then Tobias is dead and
Jake is calling out Tobias, do you see him and stuff, but Tobias isn't answering this whole time and he's like, oh my gosh, I hope Tobias isn't incapacitated.
And then David's like,
he can't answer.
David's like, yeah, he's dead, by the way, if you were curious.
Yeah, that was I really like.
No doubt about it.
He was like, you hurt Tobias, and he was like, oh, he's dead.
That was just a huge step up in how evil David is, through the rest of the book. But then he's like, oh, well, no, I didn't commit murder. He's a bird, and as you said earlier, birds can't commit crimes. I didn't kill a human. I killed a bird. And I was like, ooh.
So I wrote when you were saying in book 4 or something, somebody said, I wonder if Capligate's willing to have the characters get disemboweled as animals but not as humans because of the kids book, and that's more okay somehow. I wrote that down and I was like, that's David's justification here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, because she has terrible stuff happen to them as animals all the time, but they haven't had a single scratch as a human. They haven't sprained an ankle or even bled at all as a human kid.
They probably have.
Also, this is just related to the whole David thing. I just edited almost done editing the book 12 episode, and we brought up if it'd be really cool if because Rachel was so dumb in that book. We're like, man, it'd be cool if Rachel left the Animorphs being a rogue and then became a villain Animorph, and this is exactly what's happening here.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, that's just what we thought up in earlier.
Then what are you doing? I roared, suddenly not so calm. I like how Jake is written here too. What are you doing hurting Tobias? Hurting him? Oh, he's dead, in case you're wondering. David said, definitely dead. My mind kind of went numb as he spoke those words. I strained to hear breathing sounds from the clump of mangled feathers, but there were no sounds. It's Jake is in denial until he hears that.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, so then David says, oh no, I wasn't going to join the Yeerks. I was going back and I was
That's not what this is about. It's not about the Yeerks.
No, I'm saying what?
Well, I thought David was being really mysterious here. Okay, so he's not here to join the Yeerks, and also he's certain Tobias is dead. What's going on here?
And I was kind of confused because wait, so Tobias was stopping you because Tobias thought you were gonna join the Yeerks? Did you say oh hey, I'm not joining the Yeerks before killing him?
I was thinking
it was kind of a misunderstanding.
He just wanted Tobias dead.
Yeah, he was like, these freaking animals won't leave me alone. Just let me be my own family, dude.
For a split second, I was thinking, okay, so he's being really mysterious. He's saying, "Oh, I'm not going to join these herbs. Oh yeah, that bird is dead." What if like this is actually like Tobias talking? He like killed David to keep everyone safe, and he was like,
Tobias isn't a golden eagle.
"Well, yeah, but he morphed. He morphed into a golden eagle.
But he morphed straight from
just
David
to trick.
a golden eagle.
I was thinking, okay, so what if like what's his name, Tobias? Like,
are you saying so did David morph into a red-tailed hawk?
Yeah, he was okay. No, they didn't they saw like someone leave, but I don't think Jake actually saw what specific type of bird David was until he got to his house.
Is this a theory that you still believe, or just that you thought at the time?
No, this is just a theory I had for a specific.
Okay, so it doesn't like matter. Okay, whatever.
I think it's a cool theory.
Okay, go on.
That I had to. Okay, so then Tobias killed David. And then morphed into David, and then was gonna trick Visser 3 that way. And he was like, "Oh hey Jake, oh yeah, that bird's definitely dead."
Oh, because I thought Visser 3 was listening.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, yes, Tobias is definitely dead, Jake. Yep. Also, I'm not here to join them, Jake. Don't worry."
He used thought speak to communicate privately to Jake that he was actually Tobias.
He wasn't thought speak. He was a bird.
What?
So why would he bother with other people?
Because he was gonna be super sneaky and
can
trick
you
Jake.
if you're shouting thought speak, can you tell that other people can hear it if you're trying to whisper? Or if you're receiving a thought speak,
no, he just wasn't gonna tell Jake his plan because it was a really sneaky plan that involved pretending to kill Tobias and tricking Visser 3. So Jake had to believe it.
Okay.
That was just a thought I had as I was reading this. It was because I was like, okay, they're not gonna kill Tobias, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so it must be
Tobias was dead. But
I was just trying to justify why there would be a dead bird that Jake thinks is Tobias.
Now, spoiler alert, I own book 23 and a friendly face shows up on the cover. He's not all bloody. But hey, I don't know, maybe he's a ghost.
Zombie Tobias.
Yeah.
I really like the description at the beginning of chapter 6 of when he goes into 26.
Okay.
Guys, we haven't gotten past chapter 6 yet. Guys, can we slow down? Anyway, someone had dragged the bed back into place. It faced a television set. The set was on, but the picture was dim and snowy. A golden eagle stood on the upright bedpost watching the TV screen. So David, as a snowy eagle, dragged the bed next to the TV.
Oh.
Or, back to where it was before?
Couldn't he unmorph into it?
Maybe the bed just, fell
Why
there.
would he remorph
Maybe
into
the house
it?
got destroyed and the bed just happened to be there.
But why would Jake say that
That's
he
a
dragged
weird
it there?
detail.
I thought so too. But anyway, it adds to the scene just struck me as really depressing because it's David wants to watch TV, but he goes back to his own home to watch TV. But he's a golden eagle, so when he watches the TV, it doesn't look the same as it would if he was a human, which I assume is what Jake was trying to get at when he said it.
Sad. He's back in his own house.
The TV was dim and snowy. Could he even tell what was going on? On the TV?
Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's kind of
depressing. It just made me feel so sad.
He had to kill some
David is so he's so mentally out of it that he's just I'm gonna go home. And then the Tobias thing happens, and then it turns out David's evil.
And then Jake just wants to kill. He says Jake says he's never hoped to kill during battle, but he does want David dead.
He's never wanted to kill Visser 3 with a Hulk Pajira?
No, but he doesn't want to kill David.
He doesn't want to kill
David's the first
that makes
person.
sense. I've never had an Animorph die. Yeah.
David's the first person he's actively wanted to kill going into battle.
I think this is a cool direction that they're taking with Jake.
Yeah. Oh, also,
when I was a kid, I definitely wanted to kill David by this point, especially when David says murder. I don't think so, Jake. He's a bird. You may kill a bird, but it isn't murder. I'd never do that. I wouldn't hurt a human, but hey, an animal, that's a different story. When I was 13, this made me so angry. This made me more angry than anything since the International Elephant Police.
Because they killed Tobias?
Where the guy was like, those elephants are my property!
Oh wait, you were mad because he said that killing animals is bad?
Killing animals isn't the same as killing humans.
Yeah, that made me so angry. So much more angry than anything else in any of these books.
Wait, so if he said that but killed a normal bird, would you have been just as angry?
Yes. Wait, maybe not just as angry, but yeah.
Okay.
Because here it's explicitly because he's a bird, not even because he's got a bird mind or anything. It's explicitly because he's a bird. He's in a bird form. It doesn't matter what his mind is.
Yeah. David's always been weird about Tobias being stuck as a bird.
Oh yeah, he says that later.
You were really into this bird thing, right, Tobias? And I'm what?
Well, and they use it as an excuse.
That's interesting.
The Animorphs do.
He does, and there's a part where Jake is David's like, you guys all get to go home and like be with your families, and Jake is like, Tobias and Axe don't, and he's like, oh, they're not human.
Yeah, they don't count. That was a.
They don't count. They're not human.
Yeah.
Good like writing in this book.
Yeah.
And I wish the first half, if like the first like 5/8 of this, more than 5/6 of this book was better, it'd be like one of the best books.
Oh my gosh! And when David starts ranting about like the popular clique at school,
oh yeah, I love that.
And you guys are like the cool kids, and you guys say that I have to be exactly like you, or else I can't be with you guys, and that's not fair. And then Jake very sensibly says, "You murdered Tobias because you think this is some stupid school thing."
Yeah.
I mean, but what David said is true, though. You know, like
but like he murdered Tobias.
Yeah, the fact that he murdered... I feel like Cabalgate was like, man, this David kid, like, he's pretty reasonable. I need to make him do something really out there so people don't like him. Because if he didn't murder Tobias, I feel like I'd still be, like, mostly on the side, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But...
And then he's gonna kill Jake.
Yeah, wait, hang on. First, doesn't he say his plan? He's like...
you only have 6 Animorphs, and you only have 5.
Other than killing them, isn't he like, oh no, I just want to, I want to morph into a human and then live that human's life, you know? Isn't that like what he says his plan is? And he's killing the animals because they want to stop him from doing that?
Yeah, all I have to do is acquire some other human morph. I can be human for 2 hours at a time.
Just become a
powers. I can take anything I want. Anything. I can be a millionaire if I want. So he wants to use his animal powers to like steal from banks and stuff, I guess.
Oh yeah, because he brought that up earlier. He was like, oh yeah, what if he like turned into a cheat and like rob a bank? We could do that, right? And like, no. And he's like, yeah, it's just a thought I had. We're not going to do it.
Joke.
Okay, if you want to have a peaceful life, just morph into a human and get started in morph.
Yeah, and I feel like Jake would be like, no, you can't do that. And now because it's like, oh, you can't morph people. That's immoral. Because I was like, man, they're making like I was a little bit annoyed because it's like, man, Cabalgate really wants to make it clear that morphing humans is a bad thing by making the evilest character in the books want that, you know?
Yeah.
And that was kind of annoying.
Yeah, like how she demonizes people who like want to be controllers or people who are like fine with it.
It's like, come on, they're making morphing humans to be such a bad thing that this guy's plan.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jake's gonna kill David.
No, David's gonna kill Jake.
Well, yeah, and Jake also wants to kill David.
David's so much better at killing.
Yeah. And then I'm on the last chapter.
The Hork figures show up and they run away. I like how it's describing that like Jake is like kind you know, you'd think that like Jake could kill David, but he can't because he's a little falcon and Jake's a big giant eagle. And
oh my gosh, read that quote. I forgot that was in there.
Oh yeah, this epic quote. I think Stir already started to read it, but we talked over him. If the Yeerks don't get you, we will, I said. Yeah, I know, David acknowledged. But already there used to be 6 of you, and now there are just 5. Pretty soon, Jake, it'll be 4.
So he's just like wants to go on a murderous rampage, killing all the animals.
He's just gonna kill all the animals.
He just wants to stop them from getting in his way.
Well, I feel like Jake could like talk his way out of this. He's doing a really bad job.
He just wants to live a peaceful life.
I mean, okay, at this point he killed Tobias.
He's so angry.
He wants to kill him. So
very angry.
At this point it's too late. But the mall has 3 floors. I don't know if that's probably mentioned before. I didn't know that though. The mall where they do a bunch of stuff.
Didn't they break at the malls?
Yes.
Ceiling with
that was a ceiling.
My last note was, they shattered the mall skylight again, like in book whatever 3.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, and then they're like, oh, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna fight as lion and tiger now, haha.
Before he says that, he says Axe shows up and he's like, I like the way he talks to Axe here. He says, Axe, I think Tobias is dead. I think David killed him. That would be a most terrible thing, Axe said.
I know, Axe sounds so not...
What? No,
that's your best buddy.
No, that seemed genuine.
Yeah, that's
that's how Axe just talks. That's how
that was fine.
I like that. Okay. Get Rachel. If David's killed Tobias, we may have to do a terrible thing too. Get Rachel. Like Rachel will do the murdering for us. I like that. I like the way he said that. I like he was like, get Rachel. Come on, get Rachel.
I didn't think of it.
And Rachel narrates the next book, so that'll be interesting.
Oh, huh.
Well, yeah, that's how it goes. It goes Jake, Rachel, Jake, Rachel, Tobias/Axe, Cassie, and Marco.
Tobias/Axe, who's dead right now, so it goes Tobias.
It goes Tobias/Axe. He's dead. He's dead right now.
What if the whole book is just like empty?
He's dead.
And then it just goes to the mock-up book, and it's like, yeah, we have this whole adventure, but like...
Campbellgate is like, no, Tobias' turn. I can't break this pattern I've established.
There's like a whole day missing because Tobias was dead, but no one else wanted to write that one.
It didn't feel right to write on Tobias. Like, we write this on our Facebook accounts. It didn't feel right to log into Tobias' dead Facebook account. So then I like the writing in the last chapter best of all because it was cool.
this was a great cliffhanger compared to the last book.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
what? Like, obviously, like, I assume Jake's not gonna die, and like, but like, oh wait, no, doesn't he like almost die at the end? He like, dies?
He's bleeding from the neck and like blacking out.
Oh yeah, he's
or
like blacking
something.
out at the end.
He
Yeah.
falls through a window. And,
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I'm dying. I can see the blackness or whatever.
So Jake going to hell confirmed.
No.
Jake doesn't see the
No,
light.
you remember when Jake saw that
Suddenly-
eyeball in book 6? Does anyone
Oh
remember
my
that?
gosh, the eyeball!
What? Oh, the eyeball! Man! I want to learn more about that eyeball. I always assumed it's an element.
Why did that ever come back?
I guess it's not. It will. It has to.
The
I still to this day I envision the Elemist as a giant eyeball monster because of that, and apparently it may not be an Elemist, and I want to learn more about the freaking Yerk.
whoever this Yerk god is, I want to know what it
I
is.
want to know what the Yerk
It's the Yerk
got.
Satan.
So like obviously like it's a cliffhanger, like, oh, is Jake dead? But like, I mean, obviously, like, I assume he's not dead, but like, what's gonna happen with David, you know? Like I wanted to keep reading this cliffhanger. Like the last one was such a horrible cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Um
And like horrible as in like bad writing.
Bad
not
writing
fun
cliffhanger,
to-
yeah.
Not intense. This one's horrible in the sense of like, oh no, that's a lot of screwed up stuff happening in here.
Yeah, and this book made me glad that it's in 3 different books. I feel like if this was wrapped up in one book, I'm just assuming that the ending isn't gonna be what I want it to be, and like this cliffhanger, I was really satisfied.
What would
with.
the ending be that you would want it to be?
I don't know. I mean, obviously they're not gonna die, so it's like gonna be kind of predictable. That it's like, oh yeah, they don't die. Like Elvis comes and saves. I don't know. Something happens where Tobias isn't dead. Jake's not dead.
I'm kind of thinking the Elements is just going to show up and be like, Tobias, first I have to give you back your morphing power, now I gotta bring you back to life.
But this was such a great cliffhanger.
This
I was so happy
prophecy
with
is
it.
starting to turn out to be a lot of work for me.
I'm done with the notes of the actual book. I don't know if you guys are.
That's redundant.
I just like the description of the. I'd say just read it yourself. Honestly, I don't want to like just read the whole chapter
Which description?
of this of the last last book.
Oh, the
the
fight.
last chapter of this book.
Oh, were they fighting?
Yeah. And I like how it's just like, oh shoot, I was standing on a window, I was standing on a skylight. Oops, now
You
the
couldn't
They're
gain
like,
any
they're like on the
purchase.
mall roof.
the glass
Man, that was
shatters.
such a great ending. Cliffhanger.
And
So
the
good.
way that like Jake tries to bite David's neck, but he sank his teeth into his mane, and his teeth closed on nothing but hair. Like that's so suitably frustrating for how the whole thing with David's been going. Like it's just like that's so frustrating to imagine like trying to bite someone's neck and you just bite their hair. That's so frustrating, and like this whole thing, everything with David so far has just been really frustrating, and it really fits.
You
Good
know,
job.
being natural, if I was a vampire and I tried to bite your neck, I would probably only bite your hair.
Thanks.
Low reveal, lots of hair.
I liked it when Jake says, I had long since learned to control the tiger's bloodthirsty instincts, but I didn't want to control them, not this time. Not what Tobias Lang did. I also was thinking, while reading this chapter, they've morphed like 7 times each. That's
book?
just a random number. And they have not slept for like 3 days. Any of the characters.
Jake says at some point in this book, like, oh, I'm not going to be sleeping
I
for
would
a
not
while.
sleep for the next day or the next day either, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, isn't he like dying of exhaustion at this point?
Nah.
I mean, they've at this point, Cablegate's basically retconned the whole morphine tires you out thing.
Which is
No, they've just
stupid.
gotten better at it.
Yeah.
They've just gotten better at it.
I mean, they've gotten
okay.
really good at it,
Maybe-
even compared
maybe-
to like Andalite.
Maybe when they're in morphs such as fleas that like are very basic creatures, because of how simple the creatures are, it requires less human energy
Yeah.
to be them, and
Hand
then
wave,
that's
hand
like
wave,
a way
hand
of that's a way of vesting.
Hand wave, hand wave, hand wave.
What handwave is in? I'm dumb.
No, like dismissive hand wave.
You're just being like, yeah, okay, I'm coming up with a reason why this is okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm done with this book. Do we have a joke?
Good. Oh, are we going to
Oh,
read
hold
the
up,
back
hold
of this
up.
book?
At the end of this book, the physical version, it says, "Don't miss Animorphs, number 22, the solution," and then there's an
Final
excerpt.
solution.
Oh, listen, did you
Stop.
read the excerpt? I don't think you should read the
I did not
excerpt.
read this
Okay,
because
good.
I
Go back in
figured we
time
could read it together.
Oh, what? No, it'll have spoilers.
What?
No,
No,
I don't think it will.
It's a preview for the next
No,
one.
Don't remember for the first like 10 books we had PDFs that contained this part, and then we decided, oh, we're not going to read those because they have spoilers. I thought.
What?
Well, we can all read it together now that we've all finished discussing the book, I think.
Well, this is a spoiler for the.
It's not gonna
next
have
book.
any
It's
major
it's
plot
literally
points.
in the book.
I guess not.
It's
okay.
part of this book.
It's part of this book, and also Like, I'm glad that we're waiting till now to read it.
Yeah.
Like, this is like the next thing we're gonna do is read the next book. So, like, this is like our preview.
Well, I have one more thing I want to say about this book, actually. Okay. I really like David's character. I think it was very interestingly written. And, like, because I'm editing book 12, I'm comparing it to Rachel in book 12, which she was just acting really weird. But like the way David acts here, like, makes sense because we know nothing about him. He's like brand new,
Yeah.
Unlike Rachel in book 12, where she was just acting really bad for no reason, and he's like, that's not what Rachel would do, probably.
There's allergies.
Good book, good ending. Really picked up when the betrayal happened. I'm glad there's 3 different. That's all my notes.
Okay. Preview.
So how do we want to do this? Do we want to just have me read it?
I want to read it.
Who has the best reading voice?
Take turns. There's 1, 2, 3.
What?
4, 5 pages. Yep.
What?
Oh my god.
That's like one.
Each one. Well, we'll each read 1 page.
You're so much better at reading than I
And then I'll read the last because I spent.
That's
money
like
on
nearly
this book.
10% of the book.
All right. The sun was just thinking about coming up as we approached Marco's house. It was already bright as day to me, of course, but I could tell the difference just the same. The black sky was becoming gray in the east. I felt like I was boiling inside, like pressure just kept building up in me, like I was going to explode. Too much swirling through my brain. Tobias dead, maybe Jake as well. David, a traitor with all the powers of an Animorph. And at the same time, we had the biggest mission of our lives. The heads of state were still meeting. Controllers, including Visser 3 himself, were still conspiring to enslave the most powerful of all humans. It was too much.
Oh yeah, because the meeting is tomorrow, so they still have...
I'm reading!
Oh.
I couldn't think about all that. One thing at a time, Rachel, I silently told.
Oh, okay. I don't know what taking a turn. I wasn't paying attention.
Myself. Priorities. David was number 1. Everything else was number 2. David had to be stopped. Oh man, I missed this font. It's just in Times New Roman in our printed out PDFs. I missed this font. David had to be stopped before he could stop us.
This font.
But still, somewhere in the back of my mind, it still bothered me that Jake had sent Axe to get me. Me specifically. Once he knew that extreme measures might be taken, he said, "Get Rachel." What did that mean? Was that how Jake thought of me, as some crazed, violent nut who would do anything?
Oh.
No, of course not. He just knew I was good in a fight, that's all. It didn't mean anything. Besides, wasn't it true? Another part of my mind argued. Wasn't it true? Wasn't I just the person to call if you needed to kill an Animorph? Marco's house. Marco's window. Open. Open? Did Marco leave his window open? Yes, if he'd already flown out of it. Maybe that was it. Maybe Marco wasn't home, had already left. Maybe he'd sensed we needed him. But as I wheeled to traverse the back of his house, I bringing myself closer to the window, I saw Marco inside, in bed. "This smells bad," I said to Axe. "You have a sense of smell in that, Morph?" I meant it, figuratively. Visor 3 laid 1 trap for us, David laid another. I hadn't finished walking into traps.
This is a good font for Animorphs.
Yeah,
I'm kind
it
of quiet now because I'm laying down.
Well, then stop it.
Be louder then.
Agreed. Marco, I called in Thoughtspeak. Marco says agreed in Thoughtspeak.
No. Didn't Axe say that?
Oh, Axe is there? Okay. I wasn't listening.
Marco's a human right now. He can't.
I'm like barely listening either.
Okay, Thoughtspeak, agreed. Marco, I cried and called in Thoughtspeak. Marco, wake up now. I wanted to see him wake up and look around. I wanted to make sure he was alone in the room. He was asleep face down. He rolled halfway over and gave the blankets a kick. "Wake up," I yelled. Suddenly he sat up and looked around. He scratched his face. Then he looked around again. "Marco, it's me, Rachel. I'm outside. Are you alone in your room?" He didn't smile or leer. He just nodded. Yes, he was alone. "Okay, let's go," I said. Axe was ahead of me. He swooped down toward the window. Marco stood watching, smiling almost. His hands were behind his back. Swoosh. Axe swooped through the window and... Marco pulled his hands out from behind his back. The Louisville slugger swung in a short, sharp arc. Wham! The bat hit Axe square in the face. I saw a piece of shattered beak go flying, whirling away like shrapnel from an explosion. Axe fell to the grass outside. Marco laughed quietly. I saw his sides shake, but of course it was not Marco at all. What the heck?
Wait, did David just hit him with
Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville.
Not Louisville.
What? It's just freaking Louisville.
I got the
there.
Louisville bat. I'm aiming for your hat.
Wait, hold on. I'm reading the words right now. Louisville.
Yeah, it has an S in it.
It's French. It's stupid.
It's Louisville, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I know how to pronounce. I know what a Louisville slugger, but it says Louisville slugger.
Oh my gosh! Stop.
Hang on, wait, did David just hit him with a bat?
Yeah.
No,
Marco.
hit X with a.
Marco hit Axe with a bat?
Yes.
But it's not actually Marco, apparently.
It's probably David.
What? It was not Marco. What? David had morphed Marco! This book's crazy. David had morphed Marco. Axe lay on the grass unmoving. Marco slash David held up one finger, then another,
You're
then another.
too fast.
1, 2,
Because it's
3.
that exciting.
He was counting how many of us he'd killed. 1, 2, 3, Tobias, Jake, Axe. But it should have been 4. What about Marco? Of course, Marco was still alive because Marco had been human. David had said it himself. He would never take down a human life. Oh my gosh, this book. He would only kill animals, a hawk, a tiger, a harrier, not a human.
He's just so happy killing it. I couldn't
Holy
imagine
crap.
hitting a bird with a baseball.
Well, that's how
bat.
like actual serial killers start out with animals. As I watched, I saw Marco slash David. This is a nice font.
Yeah, it is, right?
I saw Marco slash David begin to blur. The nose and eyes had become subtly.
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 Stop.
Subtly.
I know subtle, not subtly. Oh, subtly?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pronounced that's a stupid spelling.
It is.
Yeah.
I know subtle is subtle. I've never seen subtly though.
Hmm.
The nose and eyes became subtly different. Now he was just David, but he was still morphing when he stepped back out of sight. I had to think David was wiping us out one by one. What was his next move? What was his next morph? Jake would know. Jake was the leader, not me. I had to get Axe. No, that's what David wanted. No, I had to get Marco, the real Marco, who was probably unconscious inside the house. No, wait, that wasn't right either. And the golden eagle came flapping out of the window, another one of David's morphs. It was 1-on-1, him and me, golden eagle.
Against Owl. He was faster, stronger, but it was still mostly dark and the air was cool, with none of the warm lift it would have later in the day after the sun came up and baked the ground. He was faster and stronger, but the night belonged to me. I turned and raced away. He followed. Axe lay still on the damp grass, but he was breathing, and to my infinite relief, he was no longer entirely a harrier. Follow me, David, I said. We'll see who wins this aerial dogfight. Brave words, he sneered, but you're mine, just like that bird boy of yours was mine. And that's when the pressure inside me evaporated. I was cold again, cold as a frozen lake. I knew what to do, and I wanted to do it. I shouldn't resent Jake for thinking of me, I realized. It's what made him a good leader. He knew us all. He knew me. For you, Tobias, I whispered, and I led David toward his doom.
Nice.
Romance.
I like how David says your bird boy.
You're a bird boy. That bird boy of yours.
Yeah.
Bird boyfriend, more like it.
When you're talking about Harrier, I was like, wait, why does how much Harry have matter? I was only half listening. I was only half listening the whole
What do you
time.
mean I led David toward
No,
his
I didn't
doom?
know what a harrier was before I read these books.
I don't think I did.
I still don't know what a
I
harrier
did, but I
is.
just heard Harrier, and I was like, wait, who's Harrier? What? Why does it matter?
Wait, how is she leading him toward his doom? Do we know that yet?
No.
Okay.
See, it was just the first chapter, for Pete's sake.
Was it?
Yes.
That sounds more like second chapter stuff.
David is dangerous, power hungry, and he has nothing to lose. That's why the animals have to get rid of him now. It's because he's killing the animals, not because he's power hungry.
He just wants...
Ooh, the Hulk Purdue Chronicles.
Ooh.
I think that's like the next book we have.
That's after David
Mustard, do you
That's
have a
what I meant,
joke?
yeah.
Mustard, do you have a joke?
Yeah, I want to talk about this a little bit first. Like,
This is cool.
Can I see it?
David seems pretty cool, guys.
What a nice preview.
David does seem
Thank you,
That
guys.
made me really want to read the next book.
Thanks, Scholastic.
Before the Animorphs, 3 aliens battled together in the ultimate fight for freedom. Read their story. So much you do not know.
Too bad they lose the fight. We know that much.
Yeah, we already know how it ends.
Do we?
I guess we knew how the Andalite Chronicles ended too.
Yeah.
But I like the font they have.
I mean,
for
there was
the
a
More
lot
Creature
of stuff that
Chronicles.
happened at the end of the Andalite Chronicles that we didn't know about.
That's true.
Yeah, we found out Tobias is...
What is this a
baby.
picture
And
of?
the Chronicles might be
Just
my
like a
favorite book in
blurry-
the series.
Yeah, it's mine.
A Hulk Purdue
Is it?
head?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Hulk Purdue arm? Hulk Purdue penis?
No, stop.
What for your horn?
Horn.
Horny.
A horny horse.
That is what's on the cover. We talked about it, but it wasn't recorded.
Oh yeah, we talked.
Oh, I'm so glad we're gonna talk about the cover again, the back cover.
Yes.
Oh,
we
that'll be
talked
fun.
for 10 years about the weird.
We're never gonna be able to
grinding on
surpass
each
that
other.
conversation.
I can't tell at all what's going
Be
on.
Natural doesn't
either.
remember any of it. It's okay.
I don't remember.
You don't?
No.
We talked for like 30 minutes about how the Horpidger on the
Oh,
cover
okay.
is so horny.
I don't remember that.
No, we talked about how it looked like a piece of poop.
What? No, we're talking about how it's like grinding on the female. Oh, also you've spoiled that female Andalite to purple, which we won't find out until that book, I assume.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. Oh my god.
No. It wasn't recorded. We have no
She
proof.
didn't say. Oh no. All she just like hinted at like, oh, what if they were?
No, that was me. I did that.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh god. I said as a joke. Oh, what if the reason that Wizards of the Mad about being purple is because female Andalites are purple? And then like 2 days later, being actual was like, oh yeah, female Andalite's purple. I thought you knew that. That's why you brought it up. I was like, no, that was a joke. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Guys, it can't be that much of a spoiler. It's not like it's plot.
I know it's not plot
I just thought-
related. I'm not actually mad.
Maybe,
I think it's
for all
funny,
we know, there aren't female Andalites.
I think it's cool
Yeah,
that
for all we know, there aren't any.
I think it's cool that I predicted it. That's all.
What?
I'm glad.
Axe has a mom.
Well, maybe like that's his dad who turned into his mom to be
His
Yeah,
dad-
it would be a female.
His dad morphed into his mom.
Man,
you know.
when you read that, I
weird.
was like, man, I feel so weird going like straight from that like
Into,
horrific
like,
murder
Omegaverse
ending to the
question
joke. What joke did we do last time? Hang on.
They're experts. Yeah.
Wait, why don't we
Okay.
all talk about what we? Except why don't all three of you guys talk about what you think? What you think will happen?
I have
in
no clue what will happen in this book.
I think David's gonna kill everyone, and that's gonna be
The element's gonna show
the
up.
end.
And then
Yeah,
the rest
the
of it's
series.
just, and then the rest of it's just
Yeah,
gonna
David's
be
gonna
about
kill
the
him,
work
and
project.
then Elma's gonna bring him back.
The rest of it's gonna be about Jack and Jackson and Sidey
Yeah,
And Melvin.
they should bring those ones back.
and Jill.
and Melvin.
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 I think that video is funny.
It is.
Oh, by the way, I think we're supposed to say our name, sign out, and then do the joke. Like the joke's like the final thing. We haven't been doing that.
So you guys don't have like an actual prediction?
No.
I actually think David is probably gonna kill most of them. And then
No, they're not gonna. I think they're not actually dead.
All I'm saying is that it would be really
stupid.
stupid if Tobias was not actually dead the whole time.
I just think David's. I think just the idea of just like an actual serial killer who is also an Animorph
Sounds
is
epic.
really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So I'm excited for that. Like I said, I'm really glad this was a trilogy because I assume what happens is gonna like disappoint me because it's not gonna be as cool as this cliffhanger was.
Well, Be Natural really liked this when she was younger, so maybe it's the whole book
Is
is
that
gonna
true?
be good.
I guess she's not gonna say anything about that in
She
response.
said she liked the trilogy.
I remember it being cool. I don't remember if I liked it or not particularly.
I mean, we know that he kills apparently 3 of them. Well, he says he kills 3 of them.
He thinks he does. It
Yes,
does
he
note that
does.
Axe is breathing and demorphing in the preview.
And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it makes most sense to me that he's gonna kill all of them and then the Animorph shows up, but I don't think that's gonna happen. That'd be really stupid. Yeah, I don't have any. I mean, I don't know. So much stuff can happen in a book. Like it's not just. I assume it's not just him.
I
Man, if the whole book's them like hiding from him to kill him, and
They gotta wrap up the whole president thing too.
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't want to.
Man, I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about
I don't wanna
David.
hear about
I don't
that
care
either.
about
That
President
part
Clutter.
sucked.
I like how it's like, man, this David thing, man. It's way more important than the
It's gonna be
president.
like the first third of the book's gonna be great, and then the second 2/3 is gonna suck.
No.
If you combine these 3 trilogies, you get a good Animorphs book.
Rachel
The best
kills
Animorphs
David
book.
immediately, and then the rest of the Animorphs just get better.
Oh yeah,
I got better.
I like how in the preview, like part of Rachel's inner conflict is about like how Jake views her as like a crazy killing machine. I thought
And
that was
then-
interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't think that would actually come up when we like mentioned it.
that sounds cool.
Okay, are we done?
I sign off.
Yeah,
Be natural.
I'm better.
I'm mustard.
I'm stir.
No, this is the last joke in the first half of this book.
I should probably say I'm stir faster.
That's kind of fitting. This is almost the halfway point of the series.
I haven't revealed what the second half of this book is like, but it does make a significant change.
I do know what it's like.
Aren't
I
you
don't.
excited for this entire second half of this stupid joke book?
I don't.
What in all caps? All these are like the first words like in all caps in orange, by the way.
Oh.
What did the teacher say when Jennifer kept up her grades? This is really stupid.
Good job,
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
You're Jennifer.
This is a horrible joke. You would never guess
Okay,
this.
is the name Jennifer?
It is completely unrelated to the punchline.
the name Jennifer.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
is it like the fact that she has a
she
J?
kept up her.
It has to be
grades.
related to her name because why else would they say Jennifer?
Straight
No.
A's.
No, it's not. But unless there's something I don't know about this specific name being, the punchline is like, a play on like a phrase that people say sometimes, I guess.
Okay, what? So
wow.
What, can you read it again?
I couldn't have predicted that.
But I don't think it has anything to do with the name Jennifer.
Can you read the
So it's about
the
grades.
question again?
What did the teacher say when Jennifer kept up her grades?
Keep it up.
You did exactly what I expected. Thank you, Jennifer.
No.
Can you give us a slightly bigger?
We need a better hint, dude.
The punchline contains a letter grade in it,
Okay.
and it's in a phrase where it's pronounced as the letter grade, but is not used as the letter grade.
So it's like, I see you've done better.
Yeah, something like that. Yes.
I see you've kept up your grades.
No.
I see you getting better than C's.
It's like a phrase that
Keep
people...
being a good student.
That hit the C spot.
No!
Time to get a C-section.
Man,
Is it C?
these grades are worse than D-Day.
You've been doing good indeed.
It is C, yes.
It is C.
The last word is... It's 4 words, and the last one is the letter C.
So good, I see.
So far, so
You're doing good so far. No.
good.
So far, so C.
That's a bit
That's kinda close.
That's a bit sussy.
Stop!
Yeah, please cut out the
Cut out all of Margaret's
Oh,
words.
cut out most of them at least. I made like 5.
Yeah.
I think they're all from you.
No, I did one.
You did one.
Okay.
You did venting.
Oh yeah, that was a good one though.
No, none of them were good. This is the last joke in the first half. I can't like just give it to you guys.
I think you do.
No, he doesn't. What's the phrase you ends in C? That is 4 words. Like that I would say to you. Your pupils are like big.
Hi, hello, C.
That is kind of close.
Hi,
I mean,
Jen.
it would be used as a greeting in some way.
hi,
Nice-
Gen
nice to see
Z,
you.
Gen Z, Gen C.
Nice to see you.
It ends with this.
See you next Tuesday.
No. And I was gonna say, oh, this episode was like just as long as the last episode, like 2 minutes. I mean, unedited, 2 minutes and 8 minutes. But it's like now we spend 20 minutes talking about whatever. Go on.
know.
It's fine. It's fine.
I honestly have no idea. I'm blanking. I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
It has 2 words, then a comma, and then another word, and then the letter C.
So far, so I already did that.
So far, so
So C. Yeah.
What's this third word?
That might give it away.
It might not.
No.
Which is the...
Oh, long time no. Oh.
Oh. What? That's
Long
so
time no
horrible.
see.
Long time no see.
That's good.
That's what the teacher said to Jennifer to keep up her grades. Okay, it's not a bad joke. It's just impossible to guess, I guess.
Okay, that means that
Yeah.
makes it kind of good.
That makes it a good joke then, because what makes it funny is that it's unexpected.
Yeah.
Except
Well, that's just a good pun. Like, because that's what she did. She had no C.
yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's just hard to guess.
I
'cause
think it's funny that
Jennifer's
they
like a-
included Jennifer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like long time
Which
no
other names?
Jennifer
Long
C.
time no Jen. What other names are in here?
You've been writing your name on your papers a lot, Jennifer. Good job.
There aren't any other names in here, I don't think. Nope, yeah, just Jennifer. Who wrote this book? Was it someone named Jennifer? Nope.
So his daughter's name was Jennifer, and they were proud of them for getting the good grades.
By the way, we can, next time we record, we can probably play that Animorphs board game I have. It was released around book 22.
Epic.
Cool.
Maybe. Probably won't be epic. It probably will be kind of boring.
Oh wait, we're supposed to end on the punchline.
What?
Long time no see.
Long time no see.
See you later.